So we're live.
We are live.
What were you singing just now?
2 bottles of wine.
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 Oh, yeah, it's going to be a good Saturday night here. I'm telling you. We got a double-header, a two-hander, a two-fister, a double-fister. Oh, my God.
Fister.
It's going to be a wacky night at the old Elizabeth's.
That's right. It's getting crazy all up in here.
It is getting crazy all up in here. And guess what? Greetings, imagination connoisseurs and members of this, the Post-Geek Singularity community. Once again, it is I, your sommelier of cinema, your master of fun and wonder, your viceroy of verisimilitude, and I'm here with my lovely co-host,
Elizabeth Gwendolyn Bell.
And Elizabeth Gwendolyn Bell, what is this?
This is Elizabeth's WINEning About Movies.
WINEning About Movies, episode number 22.
Number 22, and the grand finale.
The grand finale of?
Viewer's Choice.
2 weeks of Viewer's Choice.
2 weeks of Viewer's Choice.
And we had a tie.
We had a tie for this last movie.
And boy, what a diverse selection of 2 films we have today.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's amazing. I decided to wear like a Simon Cowell shirt tonight. I think your mom got this for me.
Your stripes are vibing.
Yeah, I'm vibing. I got the vibe tonight. Woo-hoo, yeah.
And what is this shirt?
This is a very special shirt you have on.
Yes?
Yes, you know why it's a very special shirt?
Why
You
is
have,
it special?
you know, you asked me to look about this. I looked at you as you were putting this on, and what did I, Johnny on the spot, what did I say to you?
You're like, oh, I love that shirt. That's the shirt you wore on our first date.
Our first date.
It is.
Wow, it's got some nice boobage. Some serious boobage action. I like that.
Yeah. Well,
Your bodacious tatas, as they said in Officer and Gentleman.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, anyway, we are here. So, Elizabeth, first of all, before we talk about our movies, I guess we got to start ourselves a very special bottle.
Yes.
Look at this bottle.
Very special.
We went to Vaughn's and we splurged.
Yes, we splurged.
We got a rosé. This is a rosé. I don't even know. Rosé Cru. What is that? Jinxed?
Yeah, I guess so.
Is the J silent? Look at this. Look at this. I got this because I can put this up and fill it with whiskey later.
Whiskey?
I can decant it.
You said you were going to put your water in it.
That's what I said I was going to do. You're right. Water. So it's rosé. It's Jinx. GNSQ.
It looks like a giant perfume bottle.
It does look like, but it's ornate.
It
and
is.
Expensive.
It's very pretty.
Maybe our most expensive bottle.
I think we paid for the bottle.
We did pay for the bottle, and you know what? I feel better for it. So why don't we pour it up? Why don't you give me your glass? Look at that. Look at this. Look at this. Wow, this is amazing. I'm gonna pour it up, as Katowski says on the Star Trek.
Should I dab some behind my ears?
Would you like to? I don't know. That would waste some. I don't want to waste a drop. No wasted drop. So, we have 2 movies tonight.
2.
What 2 movies do we have that we're going to drink to?
So we have A Long Kiss Goodnight.
Directed by Rennie Harlan from 1996.
And we have Zardoz.
Zardoz, John Borman, 1974. Coming off the heels of his smash hit Deliverance.
Yep.
He decided to take a detour into the realm of sci-fi fantasy.
Oh, yes.
And dress Sean Connery in a diaper.
It's not a diaper.
It's an adult diaper.
It's not a diaper.
With a bandolier.
His package was wrapped up with a bow.
His package was wrapped up with a bow.
There was a bow.
Let's drink. It's almost like we'd pre-gamed. Cheers to these movies.
Did we?
Cheers to The Long Kiss Goodnight. Cheers to Zardoz.
Oh.
It's delightful.
Actually, this is pretty good.
Pretty good. I don't know what the alcohol content is. We'll soon find out.
I think it's like
So will the
12.5.
audience. The audience will soon find out, too.
But we have 2 bottles tonight.
We do have 2 bottles. A different bottle, too. We have Poppy, wherever that went.
It's right there.
It's right
in front
there.
of
There you go. It's right in front of me. So, should we flip for it, or should Zardoz tell us?
Well, you know what? I think, personally...
Zardoz speaks to you. I don't know. What do you think personally? I don't know yet. You haven't told me.
Well, I don't know. I'm kind of torn, because if we talk about Zardoz first, then we get to save your favorite for last.
How do you? Spoiler alert! Why you got to do that? Why you got to spoil it all?
And if we save your favorite for last, then that'll be an interesting conversation, and we will be 2 bottles in. Or we could save Zardoz for last, And that will also be an
Zardoz is my favorite.
I know, I was being sarcastic.
Oh. Okay. So I guess we'll start with The Long Kiss Goodnight.
Oh, okay. You don't want to save it for last?
No, I really
So
don't.
we can have some epic rants?
I don't have much of an epic rant about Long Kiss Goodnight.
Oh, right. The whole time we were watching it, you were just like going on and on and on.
Was I? Was I going on and on?
Yeah, you kind of complain when I do that.
Yeah, but my criticisms of the film are legit.
Okay, but my questions about films are legit too.
Well, they are.
And I didn't tell you to be quiet.
You did not.
Nope.
Well, why don't we start on The Long Kiss Goodnight? Why don't you, first of all, I should say this. The Long Kiss Goodnight represents an era of Hollywood that has gone away. And that era is of the gigantic spec sale. And you might ask, what is
What
that?
is a spec sale?
A spec means a script that was written on speculation, a script that was written as an original piece of material. During the late 80s and 90s, the spec market was huge. Hollywood was looking for new voices, new scripts. And the master of this, there were actually two. Mm-hmm. There was Joe Esterhaus, and there was our man Shane Black that we're going to talk to tonight. Shane Black had been an actor. He'd appeared in Predator.
Okay.
He wrote Lethal Weapon. He created Riggs and Murtaugh.
Oh, okay.
I've actually been to his house.
I'm seeing action here.
I took the movie Possession, our Elizabeth's movie Possession, and I showed it at Shane Black's movie night once.
Ooh.
No one liked it but Shane. He actually saluted me that I brought it to his movie night. He lives in Rock Hudson's old house, by the way.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so anyway, that's just an aside. So, Shane Black had made, he had set Hollywood aflame with his screenplay for The Last Boy Scout.
Okay.
That at the time sold for $1.75 million. And this was back when I was working at Warner Brothers, so it was 89, 90.
Okay.
And the thing that Shane Black did was he made his scripts, they were reader friendly. If you as the reader read them, they were so much fun to read that they were irresistible. And he sold them in seconds. I mean, they went out for auction and boom.
Wow. Must be nice.
So 1.75 million was a big record back then. Then Joe Esterhaus sold scripts for like Basic Instinct for more. And then The Long Kiss Goodnight was, I think, the end, in my mind, what I remember, the end, the last of the great spec sales. Now, I wonder if I can see, I can't call, I didn't look, I didn't...
You didn't do your research?
I didn't do enough research, but I don't remember. I think it sold for $4 million.
Whoa. The script?
Yeah, I think it did.
Whoa.
I think it did. And
that's a
it
lot
came
of
out.
money.
It came out in 1996 in October, and it made $90 million against a budget of 65. So it was a little disappointing, as was The Last Boy Scout. So the big script sales of Shane Black did not translate into giant money.
Was that Bruce Willis in that?
Yes, it was. It's Joe Hallenbeck.
I remember sort of something about it.
So this was, and it was a New Line film. It was actually produced by Shane Black, directed by Rennie Harlan, who I think is one of the glorious hacks of modern Hollywood. My favorite movie is a movie he made early on in his career called Prison, a horror film. He went on to direct Nightmare on Elm Street 4, and he was the same way that Ridley Scott and Adrian Lyne and Alan Parker and Tony Scott, these British directors. Rennie Harlan was from Finland, and I thought he was kind of a glorious hack. His movies worked when he was making low-budget films, but when he then went on and created other movies, they weren't so good. He directed Die Hard 2, which was hackneyed, and then he made Cutthroat Island, which is a movie that had everyone was having a good time. He married Gina Davis, so he was married to the star, and he made this movie.
Yes, okay.
So, what did you think of the long... actually, before I ask you that, why don't you tell us, Elizabeth, what is The Long Kiss Goodnight about?
Well...
In case you need to know, there's a list of the character names.
Oh, okay.
What's it about?
So it's about this lovely family. It's Christmas time.
All Shane Black movies take place at Christmas.
Okay.
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang,
Yeah.
The Nice Guys, Iron Man 3,
Christmas-
Lethal Weapon.
Christmas is like a very pleasant time of year.
And Christmas, the way it's depicted in this movie, changes. Sometimes people have breath coming out of their mouths because it's cold. Sometimes there's only snow on like one street and it looks like it's 80 degrees in LA. But
And then there's a snowstorm.
And then there's a snowstorm.
Well,
The verisimilitude in this movie is not something I look to as... anyway, please, I don't mean to interrupt. What happens in this movie?
so this lovely family, a mother, a father, and a child. It's Christmas time. She's like a teacher. She's very mom-like. PTA. She bakes. You know,
the whole town celebrates her. She's like the princess queen of their Christmas
she's even
parade.
in the parade. Like, she's like perfect mom, soccer mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but then we watch this in bits and spurts.
No, we watch the whole thing.
How does it all start rolling? She
gets in an accident.
She gets in a car accident.
With the drunk, the local friendly drunk.
Right.
And she gets in a horrible car accident when the drunk is trying to grab her boobs.
No, he's not.
He is. He reaches over and he gets for the boobage.
He's like pretending. He's like trying to pretend like he's touching his nose.
Right, but then he actually grabs her boobs,
and
then she waves him off. Yes, and then there's a deer that comes in the road.
She just waves his hand in front.
No, he grabs her boob. He grazes her breast. He does.
Anyway, she's annoyed. She's like, "Stop it!"
A deer walks on the road.
Yeah, and she hits the deer, and they end up hitting a tree.
She goes right through the windshield.
Right through the windshield, ends up in a ditch with the deer.
And the crash, it jars her memory.
Right, because then she gets up and she walks over to the deer who is obviously dying and suffering.
In distress, suffering.
And she breaks its neck.
Without missing a beat, she grabs it by the antlers.
Kills it.
And then she's in the hospital.
She's in the hospital.
And what's interesting is the poor dude. Like, she's in the hospital recovering. We never hear about this dude again.
Well, the car gets on fire.
Yeah, but it's not like we see a funeral. We never see this poor dead dude ever again.
Dead.
He's never mentioned. Another reason why I fucking hate this movie. I mean, oh wait.
Yeah,
I don't fucking hate it.
You would think that at least she would like be sad that he died.
We don't know what happens to this dude.
No.
He apparently dies in a horrible way.
It would have been better off having him like roll out of the car, so at least you felt like he wasn't dead.
Well, in the movie, we see him kick the door open.
Right.
The passenger side.
But then he doesn't. Then he's unconscious.
This movie is horribly directed. It is. Rennie Harlin is a hack of the first order because.
Yeah, because when you see the door open, you think, "Oh, he's gonna get out."
Nope.
But
nope.
He's unconscious.
Nope. He couldn't roll out of the car that's on fire.
On fire.
And it doesn't blow up. It just kind of burns, slow burn, and then of course it's.
And even Gina Davis, like she kills the deer. But then she doesn't bother to try to save her friend.
Right. I should mention this movie is shot by Guillermo Navarro, who works with Guillermo del Toro. He's a great cinematographer, but like Die Hard 2, not one shot in this movie convinces that it's real.
Right.
I don't like any of the setups. I don't like any of the coverage. There's not everything is it takes place in a world that isn't real. There's not one shot in this movie.
Lots of films, are in worlds that aren't real.
This movie is peak studio non-verisimilitude. Every single shot in this film I can't stand. I hate it. I don't believe one shot in this movie.
It's funny you keep bringing up Die Hard, but like that's how I feel about Die Hard 2. Also.
Yeah, he directed Die Hard 2.
No, I mean Die Hard also.
No, Die Hard was shot by Jan de Bont. Everything in Die Hard. No. He's trying to emulate that. All you have to do is watch Die Hard 1 and Die Hard 2 to see exactly what I'm talking about.
Well,
you believe Die Hard 1, you don't believe Die Hard 2.
Same kind of fantastical story.
Yes. Yeah, not Die Hard 1. Die Hard 1 is beyond reproach.
But you're really hard on this film, but Die Hard is like...
No, we're not. We're getting into the weeds here. Continue.
No, because when I was watching this, I was thinking, oh.
No, you were actually thinking Die Hard 2, which Rennie Harlin also directed.
No, I never saw Die Hard 2.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
You just don't know you did.
Oh my God. Okay. Anyway, let's carry on.
Carry on. So So the poor guy who apparently might have died, we never know, because this film is unconcerned with that.
Okay, well, let's move on from that guy.
Okay, so then they're going to the kitchen and they're making...
Nobody cares about him because he was a bum.
Oh, yeah, he was a bum.
Okay, so then she is in the hospital. She has these flashbacks and dreams. And
where she's looking in a mirror.
Looking in a mirror.
Because this, my God, looking in a mirror at somebody that doesn't look like you, like the devil version of yourself.
And the person in the mirror smokes a cigarette and she's like, I don't smoke.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
And we're talking about, hackneyed.
Okay, anyway.
Hackneyed.
So then you see her in the kitchen. They're making dinner. It's Christmas. It's festive. And she's like slowly chopping a carrot. And her husband's like, when's that carrot coming along? And all of a sudden she's just like starts chop.
She's adept with a knife.
Yeah, so she's like chopping up carrots. She's like, give me more. And she's chopping up all kinds of vegetables. They're like tossing, everyone's having fun. They're tossing vegetables at her. And then her husband tosses her another tomato and she throws the knife. And
she throws the tomato in the air and throws the knife, pegs it to the wall.
Pegs it to the wall.
So she's an ace. I mean, with the knife, suddenly these memories of her old life. Clearly, she's not who she says she was. So for 8 years,
but she throws out this line, which I kind of really liked.
Yeah. Okay. What's the line that you like?
She's like, "That's what chefs do."
That's what chefs do.
I thought that was funny.
I'm sure that read great on the page, Shane Black. I'm sure it read great on the page.
I thought it was funny.
Full disclosure, I loved Shane Black's script for The Last Boy Scout.
Okay.
I loved it. I was not too keen on what turned out.
You don't like this one?
Well,
you just don't like comedy.
No, this script seemed like a Shane Black parody. It's like he sat down and was like, I need $3 million or $4 million. I'm going to write a Shane Black script and sell it in Hollywood.
Come on.
No, I really think that this is... Shane Black wrote a parody. I'm convinced he wrote this movie to see if he could sell it for $4 million. And you know what he did? Let's drink to Shane Black.
Let's.
I like
he
Shane Black.
He made a lot of money on this movie.
He made a lot of money. Let's hear it for the Pad O Guys. If you don't know what that is, look up old premiere articles online. Here's to Shane Black, by God.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So she's clearly not who she has an identity that has been suppressed.
Right.
We don't really know why or how.
Yeah, we don't.
Yet.
But we do know that she had amnesia.
She had amnesia.
Previously.
And she's been going by the name Samantha Kane.
Samantha Kane,
that's her married name. The teacher, that's who she thinks she is.
Yeah.
And then we cut to whom?
And then we cut to, what's his name in the movie?
Well, it's Mitch
Hennessy, which is played by the great Samuel L. Jackson.
Who, by the way, is peak Sam Jackson in this movie. He is beyond reproach. He is coming off of the 2 years after Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Sam Jackson rules in this movie.
Yeah, he's great.
He kicks ass, but he's
great.
He's written all over the place.
Okay.
But anyway, he's a private detective.
Yeah, it's true. There are parts that don't make sense about his story, but okay. So he's a private detective, and he does these scams, and he's like scamming.
He's a low rent private detective.
Okay, so he's low rent. They show him doing a scam, and then with his partner, they're discussing.
Melina Kanakarides as Trin, who we know from TV shows later.
Right.
You know, she's got like a small role.
She does. She was good though.
She was good.
And so then they discover that
a case that they have no idea what they're doing.
Right.
They basically stumble across information.
Yeah, because her grandmother died, and one of the relatives
a landlord died, and an apartment. Yeah, the landlord of the
grandmother died, and in the closet, a relative found a credit card with the name Charlene whatever, and tried to use it, and that's how they knew.
And then they found a
suitcase with her stuff in it.
Yeah, they went to her old apartment.
I thought it was her grandmother's house, but
doesn't matter. So Sam Jackson is on the trail of her original identity.
Right.
Her original identity.
Which I don't know why. Did somebody hire him to look for her?
Well, they stumbled across it. It was by accident.
But does that make sense?
It's okay. None of this movie, it doesn't track, but that's fine.
Like, they must have known something about her to...
Well, they didn't know. They knew something was hinky, but they didn't know quite what.
Why were they looking for her then?
It was part of another case.
What other case?
I don't remember.
It doesn't make sense.
It also doesn't matter. So anyway, they stumble across this information.
Right.
And at the same time, somebody who's in prison cut to this lame tracking shot of the exterior of a prison that looks like a process shot or a miniature or it's just not good.
There's a scary dude watching the TV.
Who, by the way, is in the most unrealistic prison cell you've ever... This gigantic prison
huge room.
Huge room. Like, that's clearly not his cell.
Right.
And maybe he's the only prisoner in this prison because he's, like, state's evidence.
Right, because if it's not his cell, there'd be other prisoners in there watching TV with him.
And he recognizes a news report of Gina Davis as the queen of the princess, whatever, Christmas parade.
If he's in jail in another state, why would he be seeing that local story?
Who knows? And then he's in this jail cell, and
then all of a sudden he's like out of jail.
Well, let's get to that. He recognizes her. Something? He recognizes her. He's like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna!" And so you know that she clearly is involved with somebody who's a bad dude in prison.
Right. And he's a scary looking dude.
And then, like, the next day, you hear that he escaped from prison. Like, this dude who's in this massive, gigantic, huge prison, who's living in, I guess, the lap of luxury. We don't know anything about him. I mean, if in terms of how prison goes, you might as well have Paul Sorvino cutting your thin slices of garlic like in Goodfellas. I mean, he's living in the Shangri-La of prison cells, and then he just escapes. He's just and another reason why this movie has no verisimilitude. This movie annoys the fuck out of me every time I watch it. I'm like, this guy just escaped from this gigantic... What is he, fucking Superman? Is he like... Is he the character? Is he Doug...
All on his own, he escapes.
He's like the Fluke Man from the X-Files. He just like, slid out of the fucking toilet.
Maybe he's an alien.
I don't know what he is.
Maybe he's an alien.
He could be an alien, but not really, because he doesn't live long after that.
Well, he's a stupid alien.
So at the same time... He might be, but then we have this nice bucolic family,
right?
The Kane family, and
so he shows up.
He shows up while the daughter, and we have to mention Caitlin Kane, Caitlin, her daughter.
Yeah,
she's a very nice girl, and she's been a good mom. They're just hanging out together, and suddenly this guy who just escaped because the plot needed him to.
Yeah, he escapes and he shows up at their house
with a shotgun. And all hell breaks loose.
He knocks on the door, and she opens the door, and I don't even think he knocks. I think he just starts blasting.
No, he knocks. I think he knocks.
So anyway, he starts shooting, and
the first major
little girl's
action
up
scene.
On the step.
He almost guns her down, like blows her away.
And he somehow, I don't know how a shotgun would do this, but it blows this ginormous hole in the wall. I mean, a huge hole in the wall.
Because that's what movie shotguns do.
All the way through.
Right.
Like, all the way through the wall.
Well, there's this gigantic now action sequence where she is now, her identity, her suppressed... Clicks on, and she becomes, it's like Kill Bill, awesome fight.
I love Kill Bill.
And
this is not Kill Bill.
No, but it is a pretty great fight scene.
So she grabs her daughter, throws her out of the hole in the wall. Into the treehouse.
Into the treehouse.
Which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And at the same time, while all this mayhem is going on, this is when Sam Jackson shows up at the house.
Yeah, this confused me. It's like, okay, all this huge fight scene happens, and then all of a sudden the little girl is in Sam Jackson's car.
Well, this is another thing. This movie is unconcerned.
Wait a second.
Unconcerned with how these... No, hang on.
First of all, how did he show up there at the right moment, and why does he have the little girl? He's a complete stranger.
And not only that, there's this massive gun battle, and she finally kills this dude.
Right.
Kills this dude
in front of her husband, and her husband's mortified.
And when he kills her... When she kills him, she reaches down and gets his blood on her fingers and licks the blood off of it, and she goes, "Chefs do that. Chefs do it." It was. It's like I wanted this movie.
Chefs don't lick human blood. Ew.
Apparently they do.
Vampires do that.
Well, they lick their own blood. I lick my own blood when I cut it with an X-Acto.
Your own blood, but you don't lick somebody else's blood.
Right, especially, you never know. I mean, he was in prison. He could have...
prison dude.
HIV positive. You don't know.
Come on. You know what happens in prison.
But this movie, because in this movie, only movie logic applies. Because nobody needs to know what's happening.
Yeah, so
then at the same time, she kills this dude, and the husband's like, "Oh my God, by the way..."
And then her daughter's in Samuel Jackson's car.
Yeah, somehow Sam Jackson went to the treehouse.
What the hell are you doing with my daughter?
The cops are all outside, too, because the neighbors called the police.
Yeah, you'd think the daughter would be with the cops.
And
but no.
Then we smash cut to...
Didn't make sense.
We smash cut to... she's now getting in the car with Sam Jackson.
Right! Right, a complete stranger.
We've completely missed the scene where Sam Jackson has some kind of conversation, like with her husband and her going.
Yeah, she's like saying goodbye to her daughter, saying goodbye to her husband.
Movie doesn't
and
care.
Just gets in the car with
Gets in the car and they're going off to solve whatever, because at this point,
because she wants to find out who she was before,
and Sam Jackson has information. They know they have to go find out this person, this uncle
but at
or
what
whatever.
Point did he tell her that he had information on her?
We don't know. It doesn't matter.
That's why I was confused.
It happens
like,
off screen.
I guess
this movie's it doesn't matter.
Or maybe we were so shocked by the blood licking scene that we didn't.
No, we did. We saw it.
We missed something?
No, we didn't miss anything. We missed nothing. And then, of course, it cuts to the government.
Right.
Evil government scene, generic, every single scene. All the people she used to work with. She was an assassin for the government. There's people that she used to be in cahoots with. Her old boss is like, oh my God, she's alive.
Yeah.
Generic movie bad dudes. And it's like, I mean, this is in the mid-90s. This was fine. But you watch it now. We've seen this 100 million times every episode of Alias. You know, I mean, this is the trope. So the evil government, the CIA, the splinter group, the Bourne Identity, whatever, call it whatever the fuck you want.
Right.
It is generic government splinter group bad guys that have to protect themselves from her because
Well, no, she is a government. She's part of this government agency.
Of course,
she's an assassin.
But they've like done her wrong.
They've done her wrong because
they thought she was dead. And now her handler, like, she's going to find out, like, her uncle, they're tapping Brian Cox, the great Brian Cox, the first Hannibal Lecter from Manhunter, who, by the way,
yes,
he's like the generic, if you need the government good guy operative, it's like, let's call Brian Cox. So Brian Cox is in the role of this guy, and he's like, his mother that he now lives with, his mother's dog, there's a great line about licking assholes right here.
Right.
So Brian Cox is introduced with his mother, and the dog is sitting there, and he's like, if that dog is licking an asshole for more than an hour, you laughed at this line.
This was funny, because the dog had been licking its butt for
a long
3 hours.
And the mother's like, oh,
what's wrong? What's wrong with the dog?
And like, this mother is right out of a Monty Python sketch.
Yes.
I mean, it's like, I mean, this, come on, man. Come on, the verisimilitude meter on this movie just keeps going
was funny,
down.
Though, because I could see somebody saying that to their mother
yes,
about
but
their dog.
it was a movie scene. There was no realism. And let me just talk about.
Come on, a little humor. Come on, a little humor.
This whole movie is humorous. I find humor in this entire film. So whatever and then suddenly they call him. Because they found his number on a postcard or some shit, uncle, whatever.
Yeah.
So Charlie calls, and then she knows because her mind is mad. So she's now in spy mode. She's kind of half spy, half...
Sort of.
She's not quite gone all the way. She hasn't gone full on Gina Davis. Full on spy, but she calls him up, and she knows some spycraft. And suddenly he goes from asshole-licking dog to, oh my God, it's you, you're alive. You need to meet me.
He was not licking the dog's asshole.
No. The dog was licking its own asshole. But you need to meet me in New Jersey at this train station. And of course, his phone is being tapped because they've been, the evil government agency's like, we've been tapping his phone for 8 years.
That if he was like,
not a very good spy, not a very good agent. Like, doesn't he have any like taps? Like,
yeah.
And it's just so like, This movie is one step away from the specialist.
Let's just keep going.
Okay, keep going. So they set up a meeting.
At
the train station in New Jersey. Now, Brian Cox is going to go meet Sam Jackson and Gina Davis.
Right.
And they roll up to this meeting, and they park in front of this train station, like right there.
Right in the center.
And the government knows they've been tapping the phones. So rather than maybe park in the back and come through the back entrance, no. They roll up and they park right up in the front of where they're meeting.
But good thing Samuel Jackson puts a gun in his pocket.
Yeah, and then, of course, we're introduced to another Shane Black trope, where Sam Jackson likes to sing some Muddy Waters or whatever, like everything gonna be all right this morning. That's right, yeah. Like Muddy Waters, and he sings like it's a mnemonic memory device. Like,
which is pretty
I put the gun in my pocket.
To do that because
in my right pocket.
When you sing things, that's how you remember things. And when
you
Zoe was little, I taught her address by singing a song. And she learned this song, and she knew her address.
Look, man, the best action movie that does this is Hudson Hawk, when they sing songs, and that's how we have 3.5 minutes.
Like the song we sang right before the show started.
Swinging on a Star.
2 bottles of wine.
Yeah, let me just tell you. I mean, if this movie is not as annoying as fuck when he's
Oh, come on, the song part was cute.
done already. I mean, these are all like just a succession of movie tropes that read well on the page.
Because they did it.
God loves Shane Black. $4 million. $4 million.
He made $4 million.
You know what he didn't make? Any money at the box office, but that's okay.
Doesn't matter. He made $4 million.
I know. He got to get paid. Gee, I understand. Shane Black got paid. That's what's important. So of course they go into the train station to meet Brian Cox.
Right.
And this
very handsome guy. This very handsome guy
that they have that Gina
starts
Davis
hitting on her at the bar.
But we know he's an evil man. We know he's the evil. He's the evil
I don't
dude.
know. You're like, hello.
I was not hello. I'm like
hello, evil dude.
I'm like these clandestine dudes. This clandestine CIA underground organization sets up a thing, like a meeting. They know Brian Cox is there, and they have all their operatives come in the most public place that they could possibly come into and just blaze. Their guns go blazing.
Yeah.
Like they kill.
She spies the gun, and she takes the.
Yeah, she takes Sam Jackson. This is all
coat.
movie business. I mean, it is. And you're thinking
people love that shit. Dude.
Of course they love it, but if you're gonna be, there's no this clandestine organization. Like, give me a break. This is like a terrorist. They're killing dozens of bystanders.
They don't care.
I know that, but they should care. They're a clandestine organization. They don't want any investigation.
No, these are the bad guys that are in cahoots with one of the
the CIA government guys.
Right.
I know.
So
I get it.
Bad guys.
They're bad guys.
They're bad guys.
But they're making the nightly news. They're making the biggest,
they don't
horrible,
care.
terrible. And we'll find out later. We'll find out later what happens, which is my favorite part. There is a part of the movie that I actually, because it's prophetic. Which we mentioned.
Oh my God! Yes,
this movie does lead up to something, because I have to say.
Do you think? Okay, let's talk about it when we get to it. I have an idea.
Well, I have to say
don't talk about it yet.
No, but I will say, spoiler alert.
I think everyone's seen this.
I will say that I love the second half of this movie far more than I like the first half. The first half is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Okay, but the second half is also a bit ridiculous. I mean. Some of the scenes don't look real at all.
Well, no, they don't. But at least it gets more interesting.
At least she's badass.
So the I mean, it's just a long.
Okay, so where were we?
So Brian Cox rescues them. We have this ridiculous scene where a hand grenade, by the way, the most powerful hand grenade in the history of all hand grenades. Goes off in a hallway,
huge bomb.
And they're able to outrun a fireball in the
hallway
from a grenade, and they jump out a window from the second story of this thing, and
she shoots at the ice, and they go into the water.
Now, first of all, where is the river in relation to this train station?
It's like right next to the train station.
It's literally the river is close enough that if you jump out a window, and the physics, it is. You watch this movie and it's like fingers on a chalkboard. I want to take a teaspoon and grind out my eyeballs when this stuff happens, because they outrun a fireball, and it's a hand grenade. It's a hand grenade. First of all, a hand grenade doesn't have that kind of a fireball, but they do it anyway. And the effects are not very good. And they outrun, they run down a corridor when the hand grenade goes off.
They spend so much money, and the effects are.
They jump through the window, and then she's able to shoot, because the river apparently is right next. Like, they literally built this train station on the banks of a river that you don't see.
But how would you have enough time to shoot that many holes in the ice as you're falling?
You know what? That's the least of the scene's problems.
If you're going slow motion, you could.
But they do. They do. Now, we don't know where they climb out of the water. Like, we don't see that. Like, this movie just is not concerned with, now we're in the river. Like, they have to climb out.
And are they wet when they come out?
Yeah, we don't. You know what? It doesn't even matter. All that matters is now we're in a different location. They're running away.
They get back to the car, which is in the front of the building. And, of course, one of the bad guys comes out.
It's there. And, because they parked in the middle of... Anyway.
And then all of a sudden, they're driving, and they end up...
No, Brian Cox rescues them. Brian Cox rescues them.
Right. Oh, right. He rescues them, and then they don't trust him, and they ditch him. But how do they end up at that guy's house where she thinks he's...
Daedalus. David Morse.
Yeah, how do they end up there? She just recognized the house?
David Morse, who's either the nicest guy in the world, like in the Green Mile, or he's the bad dude.
They just happen to drive by that house, and she's like, ding, 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 I know that house.
No, she just has to know, like, oh, I know that guy, like...
Or how did they end up there? That's the part I don't...
They had the information, like, somebody sequestered... It doesn't matter. It turns out he's a government... She knew him because she was... Okay,
no,
she
but
remembers...
my question is, how did they end up at that house?
Because she had they had somehow information because Brian Cox said it. It was the job that she was on before she lost her memory.
Right. Well, anyway, she thinks this dude is her fiance.
Her ex-fiance, yeah. Whatever. It's going to take us... We're already a half an hour in discussing this movie.
Right, okay, let's keep going.
So...
Because we got to get to Zardoz.
So,
Where's the belt buckle?
Where's what?
The belt buckle.
No, if you do Zardoz, you can't just hold up. You have to float it. You have to be like, Zardoz speaks to you. So anyway.
Yeah, and
okay,
we're only on our first glass of wine. Anyway, let's keep going.
Long story short, lots of villain stuff. David Morse is revealed to be a bad guy. She's tortured. Sam Jackson's shot. Brian Cox is killed.
But this is where she becomes a badass.
Well, yeah, and then
So he's dipping her in the water.
He's torturing her. It's a Chinese water torture thing going on.
She's on this big wheel, and he dips her in the water, and the other operative
the
guy...
the handsome operative that they used to work... Oh.
Right, but the other guy he's already dead.
Brian Cox is already dead.
And she remembered him saying that he had a gun in his...
Again, you don't see him die.
He's
just on... Yeah, he has a gun in his crotch. So he kept...
So she's dipped down for the last time. She gets her hand out. She grabs the gun from his crotch, and then he brings up the well, and she's got the gun, and poof,
and she shoots David Morse, blows him away. But then the handsome dude,
that was kind of cool.
The evil, okay. Here's when the movie started to change for me, and I'm like, all right, the stupidity.
When she becomes a badass.
Yeah, when she's a badass, and then long story short, big action scene. They escape, and it turns out.
Yeah. And here was my question. Why did they kill the one dude, but they didn't kill Sam Jackson?
Look, why did they kill all three of them? Why did they take time?
Why torture her?
Because it's that kind of a movie.
He was like, did you tell anybody about me? But he knew that she had amnesia.
Yeah, what would have been...
She thought he was her fiancé.
She doesn't know, and they all know that she really lost her memory.
Yeah.
So rather than... This is why another one of these movies, everybody monologues.
But then you couldn't have that cool badass scene.
Yeah, well, look, if these were competent bad guys, they would have killed all three of them at once.
Yeah, they would have. They wouldn't have even bothered with the torture.
Which would have been cool.
They would have just killed them.
Like, they would have blown all three of them away. It would have been like The End of To Live and Die in L.A., and that movie would have been over in 45 minutes. It would have been awesome. I'm like, wow, this is a transcendent, amazing, trend-setting action film. Let's make 45-minute action movies.
You would have loved it at that point.
Because it would have been so transgressive and awesome, and nobody would have thought to do that.
No.
But no. I know it has to all play out.
But you liked the second half better than the first half.
Well, that's because it became.
Right. So why end it there? Because then it's just all the bad stuff. Makes no sense.
Okay. Anyway, we should probably just rush to the end.
Okay, let's get to the end. So
what happens is, she and Sam Jackson manage to escape.
Right.
And she goes full on. Samantha Cain becomes Charlene Elizabeth Baltimore.
Okay. And
government assassin.
But here's the thing that really bothered me.
Oh, here it comes.
As a hairstylist. So, first of all, she cuts her hair into this perfect bob.
Perfect bob.
There's no way she could have done that. Secondly, she makes her hair blonde.
Would you say that this has no hair verisimilitude?
No hair verisimilitude of the hair is gone. At all. She makes her hair blonde using permanent hair color. That doesn't happen. You have to bleach that shit.
She knows.
She did not bleach her hair. Anyway, that always bugs me. I always pay attention to that stuff.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway.
So... machinations of the plot, we find out that all of this is about a splinter group of the CIA, and here's where it started to get interesting for me, where I perked up. Where they
May I have more, please?
Yeah, please, sir, may I have some more? Wow. Okay, that's it. That's all I'm going to get.
Finish it off. Our beautiful perfume
you know what?
bottle.
I think basically... I think they rooked us. This is a really heavy bottle.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
we didn't even get that much wine.
No.
It's all about the bottle. Show them the bottle again.
Yeah, here's the bottle. We didn't get much wine.
It's a huge perfume bottle.
Well, I mean, look at this.
It is good wine, though.
It is good. It's really good wine. Long story short, so the evil CIA guys, they want to get money. They want to get money for the CIA. They want their slush fund. They want their money. So what are they going to do in this movie?
Well, first of all, there were budget cuts. So he
yeah.
has to team up with the bad guys.
Team up with the bad guys, and they're going to stage a terrorist action and kill 4,000 people.
Right, for money.
To get money for the CIA.
But that's
this
at the
movie was
very
made
end.
I know, but it was made in 1996.
Yeah, the World Trade Center. They're like, we got to bomb the World Trade Center.
They talked about
4,000 people.
No. They talked about the bombing in the World Trade Center in '93. This is all part of that. They were the Arab terrorists they killed as the patsy.
Like, we're going to blame it on the Muslims. And I was like, what the fuck? This movie gave the idea.
Well, I mean,
you
could also say that Tom Clancy's novel Dead of Honor did too, when the Japanese terrorists fly in the. Well, that was actually the beginning of Designated Survivor. But anyway, yeah, all the terrorists and all the evil CIA operatives, it all comes from movies. They're all watching these. So the CIA,
just like, Don't Fuck with Cats.
Don't Fuck with Cats.
You gotta watch that documentary.
It all goes back to Basic Instinct.
Basic Instinct. This dude, and this is a true story. You gotta watch Don't Fuck with Cats.
Okay, come on now.
Seriously, this guy wanted to be in. Basic Instinct.
Anyway, the terrorists are able to. The terrorists kidnap Charlie's daughter.
It's on Netflix.
They kidnap Charlie's daughter. Where they kidnap Charlie Baltimore's daughter. She's gone full on assassin. She's got all of her memory back. She's Jason Bourne up. She is full on badass. She's with Sam Jackson. They think they're a little safe. They get discovered.
But she pretends like she doesn't want anything to do with her kid because she didn't want a kid.
Yeah, but then they steal her kid, and then she's got to rescue her child. So it's aliens. Now it's I got to rescue Newt. It's all that, and all kinds of plot machinations. There's the last 25 minutes of this movie is action scenes at Niagara Falls. And I will say this.
Yeah, that was cool.
There is one absolutely badass second unit shot that I love in this film. I love it, and it's a shot of a helicopter. The camera's here, following the camera's here. The helicopter is flying like this, and they fly over Niagara Falls and through the spray and up. It is a kudos to the second unit team because that shot is fucking great.
That was a cool shot.
It's a great shot.
Yeah.
Any movie would be proud to have that shot.
Have you been to Niagara Falls?
I've never been to Niagara Falls, but I saw Superman 2, which is kind of like going to Niagara Falls.
I grew up on the East Coast, so yeah, many times I've been to Niagara Falls.
So anyway, all kinds of action scenes. Sam Jackson almost dies. He gets tortured. They have to take on hordes of bad guys. The bad guys are now going to drive a tanker truck with some kind of weird explosives into a Christmas parade in New Jersey or Niagara. No, it's Niagara Falls. Yeah. And they're going to kill. They're going to detonate a tanker truck in the middle of a Christmas parade, killing at least 4,000 people.
Right.
So the government.
And the little girl, once they escape, like being in the freezer, the little girl, she tells her little girl to go hide, and the little girl hides in this like cubby.
Well, but hang on. We should say that the little girl and Gina Davis, her daughter and Gina Davis are put in the same room, and the good-looking terrorist in a freezer, and they're gonna we're gonna kill you both.
And the
blah,
really
blah, blah.
handsome terrorist, she's like, look at her eyes. And he's like, oh,
yeah, he says,
why should I look at her eyes?
She's your daughter. I mean, it doesn't matter. But yes.
Anyway,
and he recognized, the daughter
this is my daughter, but he doesn't give a shit because he's so evil.
Because he's so evil. But it doesn't matter. The last 25 minutes are movie action. It's pretty good. It's not great.
No, I don't know. Well, when she slides down, when she slides down the
Christmas lights at Niagara Falls. I mean,
when she goes up and she shoots him in the helicopter, I thought that was really cool.
This movie it wants to be Joel Silver. It wants to be Die Hard. It even wants to be Die Hard 2. It even wants to be Ricochet.
It's so Die Hard.
It's so
Die Hard. I was like, and you're sitting there complaining, and I'm like, this is Die Hard.
No, it's not. Die Hard is peak verisimilitude.
No.
Peak action verisimilitude. Yes, it is.
No, it is not.
This movie is everybody got lazy. This movie is the laziest action movie ever.
It's Die Hard.
It is
and
not.
I was sitting there thinking, he's complaining about this movie, but this is like Die Hard.
No, it's not. No.
Yeah, honey.
So anyway, the movie ends. Sam Jackson, by the way, he originally, when they filmed this movie, he died. Sam Jackson died.
Oh.
And during test screenings of this movie, the audience was like, "You can't kill Sam Jackson."
You can't kill
So he comes
Sam
back
Jackson.
half
You
dead,
just can't.
driving a car and rescues them. It's just
He does rescue them.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter. It's hordes
glad
of
he rescued
hordes
them.
of bad guys. She's killing everybody. He's almost
Yeah,
dead.
because she's badass.
And then suddenly they bring him. They put him in the same car as the Arab terrorists that they're gonna plant. It's just ridiculous.
That part didn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, but that's okay. It doesn't make sense.
Anyway, she wins, and at the end of the movie,
she wins, and of course, she has like this PO box that has money in it.
Yeah. Oh, her identity. She's able to get lots of money.
Yeah, and she's like, "Remember, we're rich."
Yeah, and she gives Sam Jackson money, and they're rich. But then at the end of the movie,
they're
they're in the country at a nice house. There's never
not even a nice house.
There's never a moment.
It's like a log cabin.
There's never a moment.
If
where,
I had money, I am not going to live in a fucking
well, they're just
log
renting
cabin.
a B. It's a B&B before there was a B&B.
No.
But here's the thing.
I'd be buying a beach house.
She never has a moment where she comes back to her husband and they have a reconciliation where she explains to her husband what happened. Her husband's like, whatever. Like, it just cuts to them.
She was ready to leave him. Like, she was like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, she's like,
But then all of a sudden at the end, she's with her husband. They're playing with ghosts.
Because none of that matters.
In a field.
Yeah,
in a log cabin in the middle of nowhere. And she's happy. How would she be happy?
It doesn't matter. You know what? Shane Black got $4 million for this screenplay. It doesn't matter. And Rennie Harlan is a hack. And you know
$4 million.
Rennie Harlan is a very handsome, tall man. Probably can drop the D really well.
Oh,
he's a
I wanna
Finnish
see
guy.
a picture of him.
Very handsome guy. They were married. Gina Davis. It just doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I heard that he made her do her stunts, and that's what caused them to like.
It might have
end
been.
of story.
He's just got that great big Finnish. The Finns, man, I love them. I've always wanted to go to Finland. I've heard stories.
Mm-hmm. I've been to Sweden.
No, I've been to Sweden.
Oh.
So, that's not the same thing,
Not the same thing.
Not the same thing. Anyway, so this movie is to me the nadir, that word. It's just not. It represents the last gasp of the great action cinema. I mean,
Dude, if you like Die Hard, you have to like this
okay,
film.
you have got to stop with that shit. You got to knock it off.
Wow.
Die Hard is the Rembrandt. It's the Mona
Are you
Lisa.
kidding me? This is the same kind of story.
No. You know what this is? Die Hard is the Yale, the Harvard, the Princeton of action cinema. You know what this is? The University of Ohio.
Oh, don't even go there. Rude.
This movie,
Actually,
it is not Ivy League. Die Hard is Ivy League. This is not Ivy League.
No, babe, it's the same shit.
This isn't even, you know what? Let me tell you something. You're Ivy League, Die Hard's Ivy League, and if you want to go to a semester abroad, you go to Hong Kong and you make The Killer or Hard Boiled. That's what I'm talking about. We're not...
Wait.
This, you know what this
How
is?
is this different than Die Hard?
I'm sorry, University of Ohio is too good for this movie. This is the smart guy that's going to a community college that dreams of going to a state school.
No, they are basically the same film. I'm sorry. They are.
You know what?
Full of action.
Here's where the
word
nuance comes into play.
Not that I don't enjoy those kind of films. Okay, they're fun, but not Die Hard when you want to play it every Christmas and show it to my family that's very conservative and
I didn't vote for it.
And they leave early because
I didn't vote for it.
You put it on for Christmas.
I didn't vote for it.
My conservative stepdad was like, I'm out of here.
I didn't vote for it. I wasn't one.
You did. You were like,
I
vote
laid
for
out.
Die Hard. Vote for Die Hard.
I laid out a
all
whole.
My nieces and nephews were like, yeah, let's watch Die Hard, and I'm like, no.
Are you turning this in? Is this some payback now?
This is some,
no, this is not.
This is some payback.
You cannot say that The Long Kiss Goodnight is the same as Die Hard.
Yeah, it kind of is.
You can say The Long Kiss Goodnight's like, the Die Hard 2's slower stepbrother.
Whatever.
The short bus.
No.
Version of Die Hard 2.
It's like Die Hard.
All right. Well, now that we've gotten through this in 50 minutes. 50 minutes.
Oh. Well, that's okay.
All right, so Elizabeth.
Yeah, that's okay.
Elizabeth, what did you think of The Long Kiss Goodnight?
Well, I don't hate it like you do. I thought it was fun. I can see your point.
I don't hate this movie.
Especially that you were like talking the entire movie and telling me how much you hated it and how there was no verisimilitude. And so, of course, like I'm focusing in on these things, but it was entertaining. I love that she was a badass, and I see your point. It really, and I'm not a huge fan of Die Hard. I'm sorry, and this was like Die Hard.
She's never even watched it till the beginning of the
Are you kidding me? I've seen Die Hard so many times. I don't hate Die Hard. Don't get me wrong. I don't hate it. But
this is not about Die Hard. This is about The Long Kiss Goodnight. Dieter Bastian, our man Dieter in Deutschland.
yes.
In not just Deutschland, but let's...
He loves this film?
Yeah.
I'm not saying...
Saarbrücken.
I am not saying...
In Saarbrücken.
Yes, Saarbrücken.
Dieter in Saarbrücken. So Dieter loves this movie.
Saarbrücken.
It's Saarbrücken.
Like Zardoz.
Yeah, Saarbrücken. Brücken, it's Saarbrücken.
Saarbrücken.
In Deutschland.
In Deutschland.
Yeah. Dieter loves this movie.
I've been to Germany, by the way.
Dieter's going to be really angry.
No, don't be mad at me, Dieter.
No, he's going to be mad at me. Come on, man. Okay, anyway, so you like this movie.
I didn't say I like it. I don't hate it. I don't like it. I was entertaining. I don't hate it, though.
No, I think the latter half of this movie has...
I like that she becomes a badass. I wish that I could bump my head and take my kids and be like, shape up.
You can. Just go into the kitchen and bump your head.
And say... What does she say to her daughter? And her daughter's like, oh my God.
Her daughter falls in the ice and life is hard.
She's like, pull yourself together.
Yeah.
I want to say that to my kids.
Which, and then it's played back later when she's,
but anyway.
In the last action scene, Mommy, you have to pull yourself together. It's like Shane Black got, $4 million.
So if I bump my head and say that I'm really a spy and I am allowed to say this to you, you think that would work?
Sure. No, you have to grab him by the throat.
It'd be cool to be a badass like that.
So, okay. This took an hour.
It did. It was fun.
We have letters, ladies and gentlemen. We have letters. We have some letters. And I think you guessed where I'm coming from in this movie. So this letter, we have a letter, comes from Larry Wilson.
Okay.
Larry Wilson says, Hi, Rob and Elizabeth. I really enjoy your enjoyment of all things cinema. As you may have guessed, Rob, I'm a big James Bond fan. I've read all the Ian Fleming novels, and I own all the movies on Blu-ray. Every single James Bond movie is more coherent than this movie. Oh, wait, I added that. You didn't write that. My father
James Bond.
My father took me to see my first Bond film, Goldfinger, at the drive-in when I was 8. First of all, kudos to your father. Why a drive-in? But okay. I think that's great. I fell in love with the Aston Martin, even collected the bubblegum cards that came out at the time. They did not survive my youth. Although the cards didn't make it, my love of all things Bond endures. Well, Larry Wilson,
yes,
you park your shuttlecraft in the same shuttle bay I do.
Yeah.
We love James Bond in this house.
I watched it with my dad. He loved it. I was very young when my dad introduced me.
When did your dad take you to drive-in? When was the first time? Do you remember your first Bond film?
Oh, it was not in the theater.
When was your Bond de-virginization?
You know, I don't have a good memory, so
Do you have a favorite Bond movie?
I don't remember. I'd have to watch them all to let you know.
Well, that's great. We can do that on the lead up to No Time to Die.
It'd be fun.
Which might get pushed into 2021. We have another letter, ladies and gentlemen. This comes from, by the way, you didn't say, did you say you were the ace tonight? I don't think you did. Well, you know who does? James Kevins does. James Kevins says,
that's right.
Greetings, ace. Greetings, Rob. I was surprised to hear on a recent episode of WINEning About Movies that Elizabeth had never made it all the way through Prince's Purple Rain.
Yeah. I fell asleep. You know what happens? He puts it on really, really late.
My tambourine.
He puts it on really late, and our TV is in our bedroom.
I don't put it on really late.
And we watch movies laying down, and he watches films really, really late at night, and I fall asleep.
Purple Rain you don't, because you have to turn up really loud.
I fell asleep.
All right, well, anyway. So,
Twice.
by the way, James Kevin's email, part of it is, damn it, Jim, I love it. So I was surprised to hear on a recent episode of Whining About Movies that Elizabeth had never made it all the way through Princess Purple Rain. Knowing how much you love it, Rob, I guess I can see why you would want to share that film on a future episode. It made me stop to think about movies that star entertainers who are better known for their musical career. I wondered if you would consider turning it into a 3-part special. I know. Look, I love when people are ambitious. It's great. You could compare Princess Purple Rain, arguably his most popular film, with Help by the Beatles. Nice to see Ringo in the spotlight. And Elvis in Change of Habit, one of his better roles. Who else other than the King could seduce Mary Tyler Moore as a nun and get away with it? Anyway, I am continuing to love the show. Keep up the great work. Peace and long life, Jim Kevins. I love that he uses the Vulcan response to Live Long and Prosper.
I love that idea of comparing these rock stars to comparing their roles.
That could be a whole
movies.
week. That could be a whole week of Elizaviews. I like that. We're gonna have, we'll change it up. That's a good idea, Jim.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. Now we got some people that are writing in. Hang on, I got to put my glasses on because I'm old. Movie Fanobi sends in a. Let me make sure that yes. Movie Fanobi sends in a super chat and says, "The Long Kiss Goodnight. What a great flick, Rob. Fun times. That's a go-to rewatch for me every once in a while. Have fun tonight. Hello to your lovely movie partner, hanging with my lady remotely." Well, Movie Fanobi, here's to you, sir. And I just want to say it's good to like things.
Yes.
No matter what they may be.
It's true.
I love Star Crash. That's all I have to say.
Random.
Hills Bros Bean Picker Throg sends in a tip and says, "There is no difference in verisimilitude with The Long Kiss Goodnight and John Wick, or worse, any fast sequel, or worst offender, yet Hobbs and Shaw. Lady Throg might pay you a visit and show you."
Well, I could agree with Hobbs and Shaw, but I don't know. John Wick...
Hang on a second. And Lady Throg says, "And Martin Riggs can consistently outrun cars on foot in 4 movies while yelling, 'We're getting too old for this.' No. Murtaugh says we're getting too old for this. And chewing on dog biscuits. The address was on the postcard when she showed up at her fiancé's farm.
Okay.
Which wasn't really her fiancé.
No.
That was her target.
That was her target.
But I'm not going to argue with Lady Throg. Throg's crotch tips $1. I see your Schwartz is as big as mine. I wish it were. Throg McLean tips $1 and says, "Come on. Since the first Die Hard film, all that changed in any of the films and knockoffs is location. No verisimilitude again." No.
Yes.
Look, Throg has to tell what it has to do what Lady Throg says right now.
That's from Throg, not Lady Throg.
By the way, Throg's coming through for us again, by the way.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I'll talk about that with you off camera. Thank you, Throg. Let's drink to Throg.
Oh, what is it that you can't say on camera?
Let's drink to Throg and Lady Throg.
Kinky?
No, it's not something kinky. How much wine have you had?
I don't know. You can't say it on camera. That's weird.
Well, we're privileged. So.
Oh.
So, Gerald sent in a super chat. Well, Gerald, thank you for that super chat. So, we're at the end of our wine here.
Yeah.
And this is a two-hander.
Is it 8 o'clock yet?
It is 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock.
Is it time for our second bottle?
Well, I know I could use a second bottle at this point. The real question is...
right. I still have a little, so I can vote.
Yeah, we have to have our voting.
Right.
Our voting. So, the bottoms-up scale... On a scale... By the way, this is viewers' choice. The viewers wanted us to watch this.
They did.
It was voted. It was voted.
It was voted. You did not choose to watch it, and then people were upset, and we decided, or you decided, that we would do a double.
We would do a double header. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we had a tie. We had a tie for... This is viewers' choice, man. Which I just want to point out that I don't want to alienate my viewers by talking about how their taste sucks. So
Oh, come on!
Well, I'm not, but that's why we have a double header. Because I might dislike something. That doesn't mean that other people shouldn't love things.
I agree.
That's the point of this show.
Right.
And that's why this film, that we had two voices. And like I said, Dieter Bastian is going to get mad at me about this movie.
Because he loves it.
He loves this movie. A lot of people do. Throg loves this movie.
So many.
So does Lady Throg.
This was number one.
Number one. A lot of people voted. And I would say I do not want to take away from anyone's enjoyment of a film because that is wrong. Don't let anybody ever tell you something you like is not good.
Right.
So
I agree with that.
Don't ever say that. Don't ever allow that to happen because that's not true. There are movies that you people would string me up in a rack and stretch me out for liking. For all of my talk about verisimilitude, that don't ever.
No, you should be proud of what you like.
Yes. But here's the thing. If somebody else doesn't like what you like, that doesn't mean that you should get in a fight about it.
No.
What you do is you discuss it.
It's just different tastes.
That's exactly right. So don't let anyone tell you to not like. Wait, where's the sticker? It's here somewhere. Wait a minute. It's Joe Weiss's sticker. Where is it? I don't know where
there's so many stickers.
There's so many stickers.
Which sticker are you looking for?
Don't let anyone yuck on your yum.
Okay.
I don't know. It's somewhere.
That sounds like a cool sticker.
It is cool.
Can I have it?
Yeah, I'll give it to you. We have lots.
Oh, okay.
Look at this. Oh, Joe Weiss.
Wait, there was a Monkey Boy sticker. Where is it?
I know. Well, I can't.
It was on the box.
It's okay. Well, that's
I want the
Monkey
Boy.
He makes so many great things.
I want the Monkey Boy.
You can have the Monkey Boy sticker. Okay. You can. So, don't let anyone tell you that something you like isn't worth liking.
I agree.
No, don't.
I agree.
Just because I don't like this film.
Just be confident in your choices.
Yeah. And
that's what
whatever
I tell
you
my
believe,
kids all
whatever
the
you
time.
want, your beliefs and your opinions, all I ask is that they stand up to scrutiny, that you stick up for your beliefs. That's all I say. Believe whatever you want.
And never be intimidated by anyone
just
because
stand up for your beliefs.
Because they're just people, just like you.
If you run into me at Comic-Con and you say, Rob Burnett, Viceroy of Verisimilitude, I fucking love The Long Kiss Goodnight. You know what I'm going to say to you? I'm going to say to you, God damn it. Damn right. Hopefully, then you'll buy me a shot. We'll do a shot together. And I will tell you, you should absolutely love The Long Kiss Goodnight.
What if they said they love Discovery or Picard?
Look, what I have said, you can like Discovery and Picard. As long as you don't expect me to like it. That's okay.
Right.
I will sit down and have a cogent conversation with anyone. I have. That's what makes the world diverse and fun. And great to live in. Everybody has... remember, since you brought it up,
what was cool? When we were at Comic-Con and we ran into one of the writers
Ted
of Discovery,
Sullivan.
Which you had been on Twitter,
Ted Sullivan went after me.
Disparaging, and you...
No, he was disparaging me first.
We were at the same party, and you went up to him. I was like, no, don't go up to him.
Yes.
And you went up to him, and you were like, I'm Rob Burnett. And the look on his face, he was like...
True.
Oh my God, he was
I did go up to Ted Sullivan, the writer.
He was like, I'm Rob Burnett, and he was like freaking out, and you were like, no, I'm not upset with you.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at you.
I was like, yeah, we had a really nice conversation, and he told me about his childhood and how much he loved Star Trek, and we shook hands. I thought that was really cool.
That was super cool.
He was really cool. He thought I was going to come up. No, I was like...
he thought you were going to come up and, disparage him.
Nope. I went up...
No.
I went up to apologize to him.
Yes.
I went up to apologize to him, to tell him I respect what he does, and I thought it was cool.
But you stood your ground. At the end, you were but I still don't like what you're doing.
Yeah.
But at that point, he was calmed down, and he was good with it.
Because the thing is, I might not like The Long Kiss Goodnight, but I love the fact that Shane Black got $4 million.
He did. He made his money. And she was a badass.
And she was a badass. Cool. There are people like, look, there might be a 12-year-old or an 8-year-old or a 10-year-old girl that watches this movie for the first time and sees...
And becomes an assassin?
Perhaps, if that's what she wants. But you know what? Before everyone's talking about this movie...
First of all, I would never let my 12-year-old
Oh, come on. Why not? Look, I would allow my 12-year-old daughter, if I had one, to watch this movie.
Well, good you didn't have a 12-year-old daughter.
No, because you know what? This movie actually it ultimately
How
is
old
about
was Sophie when we got together?
it's about a mother.
was 10.
This movie is about a mother. This movie is about a mother, a woman who rediscovers her motherhood. If you want to look at it, I'll say something good about this movie. It's about a mother who has her motherhood ripped away from her.
Yes.
And as an assassin that cares for no one but herself, she rediscovers her love of another human
true.
being. And at the end of the day, if I can say something positive about this movie, it is about a mother who discovers the value of motherhood.
Yes.
And forgets all of her assassin shit.
Right.
And her primary focus is to save her child.
That is
I would
true.
say that redeems this movie in the end. And that's why I like the second half with all the action histrionics that I'll watch.
Die Hard-ish.
So not. You know what? Every single villain in Die Hard has a personality. Theo.
Excuse me, the handsome villain in Long Kiss Goodnight. He's like super handsome.
No. Oh, that's his personality?
Doesn't matter. He's nice to look at.
Okay. Well,
anyway, let's vote.
All right, so on a scale of explain the bottoms up scale.
Right. So our scale goes from 1 to 4
1 to 4.
because there are 4 glasses of wine in a bottle.
I don't know if there are 4 entire glasses. This is a cool bottle, but I don't know.
Yeah, we didn't get 2 full glasses, but that's okay. It was a cool bottle and it was good wine.
It was good wine.
And I'm feeling happy.
You're going to feel even more happy when we suck down another bottle of wine.
It's going to be hard to talk about Zardoz.
So we have the bottoms up scale on a scale of 1 glass to 4 glasses of wine, 4 being the best. What would your on the bottoms up whining about movies scale, what would you give Rennie Harlin's 1996, written by Shane Black, The Long Kiss Goodnight?
I'm going to give this film 2.5 stars.
2.5 stars.
2.5 glasses of wine. 2.5 glasses of wine.
All right. Okay.
It was entertaining.
Okay, I understand.
There were some funny parts. I like that. I like that she was a badass.
Yeah.
And I like what you said about her deciding to be a mother
Yeah.
and rediscovering her motherhood.
Yeah.
I liked that.
Now, as much as I bagged on this movie in this thing, it is an enjoyable watch.
It's fun.
It might annoy the fuck out of me, but I watch this movie and it goes down easy. This is like sweet tea.
Yes.
I love sweet tea, but I know I
Right.
shouldn't be drinking
It's
it.
bad for you.
Totally bad for you.
But it's yummy.
It is yummy. It is yummy. And at the end of the day, I can justify it by going, I'm in the South, I'm drinking sweet tea, I'm on someone's balcony, there are Southern girls around, so I will drink sweet tea, and it's awesome.
Southern girls.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, sweet tea, it's part of the whole... You're from Ohio. You're from Ohio.
What does that mean?
Just saying, it's not the South. I'm having sweet tea. It's a... Look.
Okay.
I
anyway.
give it 2 glasses of wine. I give The Long Kiss Goodnight 2 on the bottoms up scale. I will finish this. Our last swallow. Here we go. I would say
There
that
you
was
go.
fun. That was fun. So there you go. The Long Kiss Goodnight. Now hang on. Just so we have a little bit of a reference. We're going to jump into the next movie. Oh, wait. Hang on.
Maybe we should read some... we did. We read the super chat.
Well, no, there's more. There's more. We'll catch up here. Just hold on.
Okay. We're just
Hold
gonna
on.
jump into Zardoz.
I'm going to jump into Zardoz. First of all, people have sent in tips and things. Look who's here. Claudius is here.
Hello.
Hi, Claudius. Bonjour, Monsieur Robert et Madame Elizabeth. Sorry, Jim Boyers. I agree with Rob. I do not think The Long Kiss Goodnight is a good movie. Elizabeth, I'm sorry to say this movie has way less verisimilitude than Die Hard when it comes to action. Thank you, my friend. I mean, we can't, Candida and Elizabeth, I'm sure they'll get along famously, but you can only push it so far, especially when you're live on the internet. Claude is right.
Okay.
He goes on, he says, to be honest,
They're the same.
this is one of the few films that I actually forgot I watched. It was so bad that I erased it from my memories. It could have been better. It was better in The Bourne Identity. Oh my God. If I didn't love Claudius already, let me just say that Claudius is a man I could find myself, if we wound up in Antarctica.
Well, we're gonna go to Portugal together.
Yes, and I can only imagine how fun that's gonna be.
That's gonna be super fun.
I think Claude and I'll go in we'll have some vino when you and Candida go shopping.
I want some vino.
Well, you'll get vino. Okay. Do you think Candida's not gonna have vino? I'm just saying.
Have vino.
I think if Claude and I sat down at a table together, I think 5 hours would go by and we would not stop talking to one another.
Right.
Anyway, he goes on. Let me just finish. To be honest, this is one of the few films that I actually forgot I watched. It was so bad that I erased it from my memories. It could have been better. It was better in The Bourne Identity. By the way, this is the best Eliza views ever. It is for us too, Claude.
Yeah, it's a
It
two-bottler.
is for us too.
Yes.
Oh, look who's here. Victory Unlimited Show is here, ladies and gentlemen. Victory Unlimited Show. Send in a very generous super chat. For those of you who are not Robservations watchers, who are only Elizaviews watchers, Victory Unlimited Show is a long-time imagination connoisseur, and I don't know why, but when I saw Victory Unlimited Show, I had to say it like that because it reminded me that you must talk that way. Victory Unlimited Show. In my teens, Purple Rain came out in theaters, and it was the only movie that I and the entire packed house of folks sat through twice in a row without paying for the second showing. I'm not proud of it, but it's true. By God, let me just tell you.
I fell asleep. I'm so sorry.
Claude will appreciate this, and maybe Victory Unlimited Show too. When I saw Purple Rain, I have a problem with my ethnicity. Not that I have to apologize for it. I just wished I was certain other ethnicities. When I saw Purple Rain, I wanted to be a Renaissance black man like Prince. I wanted to be Prince so goddamn bad.
Okay, wait. I have a question.
Oh.
I have a question.
I wanted to be Prince.
Do you love that film because it's Prince, or do you love that film because it's a good film?
It is a good film.
Is it?
It is a good film. Purple Rain is Purple Rain is a legitimate, straight up great film. It's a story about an artist, and you know what? Say what you want. You can say what you want about. And by the way, I shouldn't say black because Prince is multi-ethnic. He's multi. He's not just black. His mother is white. His father's black.
And
his father's Clarence Williams III.
He
No,
was raised the same religion that
I
I was.
know he was raised Adventist. I get it.
So was I.
No, but I would say it's like when I wanted to be Tony Leung, like In the Mood for Love. I watched In the Mood for Love. I'm like, I want to be a Chinese dude wearing linen suits in the 60s.
Yes.
Yeah, man. I because he was so cool.
Yeah.
Prince was so cool in Purple Rain, and
I'd have to see it. I mean, I fell asleep, so I can't comment on it because I don't.
First of all, Albert Magnoli directed it. It's beautifully shot, beautifully directed. I love Purple Rain. I love it. Yes. Is it perfect? No. Is Prince a great actor? Perhaps not. However, the movie as a film, it holds together. Like when you watch the movie, yeah, there are a few clunky lines of dialogue, but let me tell you a story about that. So this is a true story. So I went to the Alfred Hitchcock Theater and I saw Death Becomes Her. Death Becomes Her. I'm at the Alfred. I'm seeing a screening. Who am I sitting next to? I bet you don't know.
Who? Apollonia
Quintero, Prince's co-star in Purple Rain. I am sitting next. And by the way, she lives in L.A. It's not like you can't. I am sitting next to Apollonia, the woman who purified herself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka.
Okay.
I love Purple Rain. I wanted to live in that world. I wanted to play First Ave. I wanted to be part of the revolution. Do you know that Wendy and Lisa... Here's another story. I love Purple Rain so much that when I was making Free Enterprise, Wendy and Lisa, I wanted them to score the movie, and they came to my office. Wendy and Lisa came to my office, and I showed them a rough cut of Free Enterprise. And their agent was playing games with us. And at Comic-Con a couple of years later, Lisa, outside the convention center, and walking outside, Lisa of Wendy and Lisa stopped me and recognized me, and then we talked.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
That's cool. Anyway, We need to get to Zardoz.
Oh, right. Well, Eric Gantz sends in a tip and says, first, thank you, Ace and Rob, for providing such entertaining content. Second, a Name That Song challenge. In every man's life, there will be a hang-up-a whirlwind designed to slow you down. It cuts like a knife and tries to get you to this spooky electric sound. Oh, my God. I know this, and you're killing me. If I wasn't drinking, I'd be able to have this answer for you.
Maybe by the end of the show, you'll know.
No. I'm going to cheat.
Cheater.
I'm going to cheat because I know this and I can't even think about it right now. I'm totally.
That's cheating.
So what?
You're supposed to guess.
I know it's
not.
I shouldn't guess. I should know.
You should know.
No, I should absolutely know this song. I also know the album.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He's cheating right now.
I'm cheating. I'm totally cheating. I know.
Totally cheating.
Cool. You know what? This is not how I can't.
You clicked on the wrong thing.
I know. I'm sorry, but I can't. I'm drawing a blank. Please allow me the Eric. I'm sorry. I'm drawing a blank on this.
We did pregame before.
We did. Anyway, Anthony Gonzalez. Eric, I'm going to get back to you on this. Anthony Gonzalez.
His cheat didn't even work.
It didn't even work. Anthony Gonzalez, who, helps our bums.
Yes.
I much prefer Shane Black's The Last Boy Scout, which I refer to as the second best Die Hard movie. You know what, Anthony? I got to say, I did not like The Last Boy Scout as much as I liked the script. Just like The Long Kiss Goodnight, the script was much better. I think that the problem was that, just like I thought Quentin Tarantino's scripts for True Romance and, I can't, the wine is, I can't think about Prince lyrics and I can't think about, Natural Born Killers. I thought Quentin Tarantino's scripts for True Romance and Natural Born Killers were better than the movies that came out. What was I saying? Slevin Beam, the man who made I have to agree, this is probably the best Elizaview so far. Good to see the two of you having a great time on YouTube. I like The Long Kiss Goodnight. 3 out of 5 stars.
Ooh.
All right.
That's high.
Okay. We got to get to we're over time.
Yeah, can you bring that down a little bit?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Thank you. Well, not that far. Yeah, thanks. Shall we
Oh, yes. So our second movie,
wine?
our Viewers' Choice Awards film. We have Poppy from Monterey County. Poppy. This is a Pinot Noir. There it is.
You know we love our Pinots.
We love our Pinots. We do love our Pinots. Fantastic, because more wine is exactly what I need.
Yeah, I know. How are you talking about Zardoz?
Well, you know how we can talk about Zardoz? I'll tell you. What's really great about... Where did it...
You lost Zardoz.
I lost... Where did Zardoz go?
No, this is not okay. You can't lose Zardoz. Oh my God.
I don't know where Zardoz went.
There's too much stuff on your desk.
I know. Zardoz speaks to us, though.
What the hell?
Well, wait. Hang on. It's okay. Come on. Wait.
No. It's not okay.
I don't know where Zardoz... Look, honey. No. That's James Bond. No, come on. I'm still fixing his leg. Come on, man. I broke. Anyway, no. Like we've already shown Zardoz. Zardoz has disappeared. Come on, let's get your head in the game. Let's talk about John Borman's. Let's toast to John Borman's 1974 sci-fi masterstroke, Zardoz.
How do we do this without Zardoz? I'm like, how can it disappear?
Okay, just it's okay. We'll find Zardoz. He's here somewhere.
Oh my God.
So, John Borman's 1974 science fiction epic that a lot of people make fun of because of Sean Connery, who plays the character of Zed. All anybody does is make fun of his... Let me take off these glasses.
Make fun of? His
Yeah.
package is wrapped with a bow!
Yeah, but that's why people make
An
fun of it.
orange bow.
Well, I'd say it's red.
It's orange.
He plays Zed.
Orange, my favorite color, by the way.
Okay, it's orange. So, John Boorman directed this movie. He produced this movie. He wrote this movie. And I would say this film is a precursor to John Boorman's other, I call it his mythological saga. It led into Exorcist II, The Heretic, and also Excalibur, which are other movies he made. Now, a lot of people think Exorcist II, The Heretic is one of the worst movies ever made, but I disagree. I don't think it's a very good Exorcist sequel, but I think it's a good John Boorman movie. Now, Zardoz is a movie that takes place in 2293. And Elizabeth, why don't you tell us what Zardoz is about?
Zardoz.
Yep.
So, okay. So it starts off with a floating head guy telling you...
Well, it's like a ship.
No. That's not the beginning.
Well, it is.
It is Arthur Frayne talking.
All right.
Saying...
And by the way, a disembodied head, like, not very good. It's like he's cut off. It's and he's speaking...
And he has a drawn-on mustache and beard.
So Arthur Frayne is...
Like little...
A man from the future. He's our narrator.
He's our narrator.
And it's not even...
He
it's
doesn't
not
narrate
even,
the film.
No, but he's telling... But he's not even, like, on a green screen where they've... He's literally just like a photo cutout that's floating around.
Okay, that didn't bother me.
It bothered me, but okay.
Okay, so it's Arthur Frayne, and he's telling you that he is basically God, but really a magician playing God. And then it goes into the film.
And Jeffrey Unsworth, the man who shot Superman the movie, shot this movie, an unbelievable cinematographer, and the movie opens... Yeah. It opens, and what do we see?
With the giant head floating over the earth.
Which are great effects, by the way.
Which we really need to find Zardoz.
Okay, while you talk, you tell people.
This is unbelievable that we lost Zardoz. Like,
okay,
we need Zardoz for this.
Okay, I understand. Why don't you tell everybody?
I'm so distracted. I need Zardoz.
Okay, I don't know where it went. I don't know, babe. I don't know. There's so much. Okay, why don't you tell? Come on, this is live.
Yeah.
So we've done Zardoz. Just tell them what's going on. So keep going.
So Zardoz is a floating head. It's like this giant floating head.
Giant floating head.
And it floats around, and it's this god. And you see these band of guys wearing
the Brutals.
The Brutals wearing...
This film was shot in Ireland. Beautiful Irish countryside. Yeah. But these guys, the Brutals...
The Brutals come and they worship Zardoz. And Zardoz gives them guns.
Well, he settles down and he says to them, these men, these Brutals, he says, the gun is good. And the penis is evil. And he basically says that the penis shoots the seeds that creates more. So
Zardoz does not want these people to
reproduce.
Procreate.
Yeah.
He wants them to kill people.
Yeah, he's basically, it's population control.
Yeah, so these people that are... There's 2 people on the earth at this point that are 3. So there's the exterminators.
Well, you can't say that yet.
Oh.
We don't know that yet. So
anyway, he throws out all these guns.
Yeah, he spews it out of the mouth.
He spits out all these guns.
Out like massive amounts of guns.
And bullets, and they pick up all the guns. They're so happy that Zardoz gave them guns.
And basically, the human beings here rule the... It's a brutal post-apocalyptic, society's collapsed, and these brutal men are given guns... And they're told your penis is bad, don't fuck, even though they do.
They do.
They're rapists, rape. Murderers. And then the floating head flies away. And what's awesome, can I say what's awesome?
Is Sean Connery with his package wrapped up with a bow.
Okay, no. What's awesome is Beethoven's 7th Symphony.
That's also awesome.
It's like Beethoven's 7th Symphony. When you wanna do some go-to shit with classical music, for whatever reason, Beethoven's Seventh Symphony is it immediately. And I saw this movie as a little kid, and I noticed Beethoven's Seventh Symphony.
You saw this as a little kid?
Well, it was yes.
What the hell?
Because I watched science fiction films. I was,
Your mom let you watch this film?
My parents did not know what I was watching. They didn't know what I was reading. They had no idea. No clue. But when I saw this on TV, there's nudity. There's lots of boobage in this movie later.
A lot of boobs.
A lot of boobage. And
they're small boobs, but they're boobs.
But exquisite.
They are very lovely boobs.
Exquisite. Not as exquisite as your nice, ample, bodacious
yeah, mine
tatas.
are too big. But anyway.
There's no such thing as too big.
Yeah.
Anyway, we digress. So Zardoz spews out guns and so Sean Connery, who plays Zed, sneaks aboard this floating head.
He gets into the Zardoz head, which is missing right now, which just breaks my heart.
I know. It's here somewhere.
How could you misplace Zardoz?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm just heartbroken.
It's fine. Just keep talking. So what happens? What happens?
So he sneaks onto the Zardoz head, into the mouth, and
what does he find in there?
He finds in there these people shrink wrapped in plastic, and he finds lots of, or actually he's buried in the grain that they've harvested. And
yeah, like the people harvest grain. They bring in. They grow food.
They grow wheat and there's like baskets of apples everywhere.
Yeah, so they actually have planted food and harvest, and they
bring it to Zardoz.
They bring it to Zardoz as an offering to the god.
And he gives them guns and bullets.
Yeah.
So he sneaks onto the head, and then he is startled by Zardoz.
By Arthur Frayne. And it's the first time we said the guy that's been telling the story at the beginning shows up, and he's the guy that apparently Zardoz's pilot.
Right.
The man behind the curtain.
He's the man behind the curtain.
The man behind the curtain.
And he's startled by him, and he accidentally shoots him, and Arthur Frayne
shoots Arthur Frayne, the guy who opened the movie, and Arthur Frayne
falls out of Zardoz.
Out of the mouth.
Out of the mouth.
Into the sky.
Onto the... Yeah, he's gone.
We don't know where he's gone.
Then the Zardoz head flies off and lands...
In a beautiful
green
bucolic area.
Pasture near a beautiful building.
What we find later, it's a vortex.
Yes.
It's a vortex that is is utopian Shangri-La.
It's a haven for these godlike people.
Well, immortals.
Yes, they're immortal.
The elites.
Yes.
It is a place of culture.
The higher ups.
The higher ups. We've left the brutal, horrible daily existence, and we have come into this beautiful area where there are all these beautiful people. And Sean Connery gets out of the head.
He gets out of the head, and he starts exploring this place.
And it blows his mind.
And he finds Arthur Frayne's house, so he goes in there, and he explores, and he finds this ring.
Well, he first finds, like, a topless woman, on a horseback.
No, that's after he finds the ring.
No, it's before that. Well, anyway, you go ahead.
No, babe.
Okay.
You were sleeping, so...
I wasn't sleeping. I've seen this movie 20 times.
Yeah, but you were sleeping. So he goes in there, he finds a ring that is kind of like...
It's an artificial intelligence that can tell him whatever he wants to know.
Right. Like in many shows, like he just asks it questions. Like it's a ring with a crystal on it, and he asks it questions, and it projects pictures, and it tells you stuff.
Tells him everything about... And we've also find out that he's not stupid. He's a smart man.
He's very smart, but so he's smart but a little ignorant.
Well, no, he's ignorant. He doesn't know.
He doesn't know about this world.
He's never seen anything like this before.
It's like mind blowing to him because he has lived in the world where Zardoz was God, and now he's like entered into Zardoz's world, and that's mind blowing. Could you imagine like entering like your God's world?
Well, it'd be like traveling through time. Like
it would be mind blowing to you.
You're going from the Middle Ages to today. It would be like
for you, like for us, going to heaven and trying to figure out what's going on.
Heaven?
Yeah, because that's our God. Like If people worship God, and
yeah, but I don't think heaven would have some like
no, right? But this is their God, and he's entered their world, so he's like his mind is blown.
All right, I see what you're saying. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Yes, yeah, like yes. So his fall, but like heaven, I mean, this seems to be a beautiful place.
It's a beautiful place.
Everything is gorgeous.
He looks outside, and they're like talking and gathering food. And
beautiful people that are wearing clothes.
Like this woman on a horse, and she's topless, and he's like, "What is?"
And
going on?
He looked at women as chattel. I mean,
right? He raped women.
And she talks to him, and like they know they know who he is. They like understand that he's come in from. They get it. They get it.
Not quite yet.
Well, not quite. They don't know where, but they still
at the beginning.
But they still understand. They get where he's come from. They understand he came from the outside.
Right.
They understand he's a brutal.
Right. So the scientist woman of these people, these elite people, she takes him in, and she's like, "I want to study this guy because this is the first time that a mortal has entered into the immortals' world."
Right.
So she convinces, but there's another woman who's like, "Oh no, he cannot be here. We have to kill him. Like, this is terrible. He can't be here. Get rid of him." So she's like, no. I need to study this guy. I need to see how he got in here, why he got in here, all of this stuff.
Well, there's many different factions in this realm of
right.
And these people, we should say, they're immortal.
They're immortal.
And they can't die, and if they do die,
they're
regenerated. But there is a group of people that they're kept old, like the scientists that created this realm.
Right. Well, plus the people who are punished, your punishment, because they're immortal, it's hard to punish somebody. You can't kill them, so they make them old. But then they're banished. They're banished with all the old people,
right?
The renegades, and they're called renegades,
and they're put in like the old folks' home. It's like the old people, and they're all the scientists. We don't need them
like
anymore.
The silly old people,
yeah,
the silly renegades. So anyway, that's further into the movie.
No, it's okay. Okay. So Sean Connery becomes the cause celeb.
He becomes a pet. He's kind of a pet, but also a scientific research
and a political tool.
And a tool.
There are different factions that are like, oh, he's come into this place, and we discover that these immortals, these elites, they have everything. I mean, this movie is as relevant now as it was made in '74.
I mean, they're bored.
They're
freaking bored because they're immortal, and they're just like living life. It's just boring. It's the same thing, and they're so removed from the rest of the world, of the mortal world, that they're just like living this life. They're like bored to death.
And they've got this AI, the Tabernacle.
Right.
Their Tabernacle,
which is the guy who's like speaking from the crystal rings.
It's their AI. They're dominated by
Hal, basically.
Yeah, he's basically a Hal, or he's the
Hal.
Whopper from War Games, or he's any AI you want to, or he's whatever you want to. He's Cybernet Systems. He's Skynet.
Yeah.
Or he's whatever evil AI, but it's not evil. It's just the AI that controls the society and runs everything, and it tells you.
And is all-knowing and tells you what you need to know.
Yeah, and so you can find out it. But these people are like, they're
like total hippies.
They're fucking losers, is what they are. Like immortality.
Well, they're so like. Oh, they're so like full of themselves and so elite, and they know everything, and like they meditate, and they're like
right. That's all they do is they meditate. They don't even. There's nothing left.
They're bored. They're fucking bored.
They don't love art. They don't love sensuality. They're not making anything.
Because they know everything already.
Yeah, they have everything.
They know everything. They have everything.
And Sean Connery represents the passion of humanity, even though he's a brutal, even though he's an exterminator.
Right. But also he has mortality.
Right. Well, and they all of them want to die. They're all fucking
bored.
straight up bored. And of course we've got Charlotte Rampling. Oh my God, so beautiful. Even though she's kind of a cunt when we start the show.
She's kind of not nice.
Did I say that?
She wants to get rid of him.
I should have not said "see you next Tuesday." That's a bad word. She plays Consuela. And then there is Sarah Kesselman as May, and they represent the different sides. Like Consuela, Charlotte Rampling's character, who I said was a see you next Tuesday. I just can't believe I said that live. Terrible. I said that terrible.
She wants to get rid of this guy. She thinks he's a threat.
She hates him, which is ironic.
Like, get rid of him.
And then May, who's the scientist.
She's the scientist. She wants to study
observe.
him. She wants to learn how did he get there. He's the first one who has ever entered their realm, and she's so curious about what happened.
Right, and people want to know what happened to Arthur Frayne. Now, he died, but he's being regrown as a fetus, like in the tabernacle.
Because they don't really die. Excuse me.
But yeah, they don't really die. But so this society of elites and immortals that have been there for apparently thousands of years, or
Arthur Frayne
he
does say
he says 300 years old. So they live hundreds of years old. So these people they live hundreds of years old, but their life has really no meaning. Right. They have no ambition.
Right.
Everything
because
is provided.
When you live forever, it's like,
what are you doing?
What are you gonna do?
They're not creating art. They're not.
You know everything, and you're just like living forever and ever and ever. It's like, what the fuck?
It sucks. I mean, none of them are happy, and they don't know it.
In fact, they're so unhappy that they've lost their sex drive because it's like this constant monotony that they've just become androgynous, basically. Yeah, and everybody is weird. There is no sexual, even though there's a lot of gender fluid imagery, and they're all dressed the same basically, but they're not sexually attracted to each other.
No.
That's like gone out.
But Zed is, and what's interesting is that what I love about this movie is that the viewer, is put into Zed's position. Yeah, we are discovering this society, and like we are turned on by men. I mean, girls like boobs too. Like you.
I think they're beautiful.
But so we're looking at things
as an artist, I think.
But we're like Zed, like we see naked boobs, like, oh my god, there's boobs on the screen. But the people in the vortex,
they don't care. They're like,
they don't care.
They are asexual. They have lost their sexual drive because they can't procreate. They don't procreate because they live forever. Why procreate when you live forever?
You know what? We should. Tallulah's barking. Maybe say.
Let me text Zoe.
Maybe let them out. We have to leave. The dogs are not good. So anyway, what I was going to say was that. So Zed, the Sean Connery character, he is leading us through this weird society, and we're seeing it through his eyes, and it's messed up. I mean, it's a really messed up society. It's not cool at all. No one's having a good time, and they're trying to amuse themselves. And what's interesting is that
they all have their chores, and they're taking care of the renegades, and they're taking care of the
well, what they're doing is they're taking care of what we find out is that Arthur Frayne, he was out there in the world, out in the renegade world, and they didn't really know what he was doing. And what he was doing was he was basically breeding, like in Dune, the Kwisatz Haderach, the perfect being. He was out there. He was out there messing around with the brutal world.
Basically, he was God in that world.
He was God in that world, but he was also genetically breeding.
He was like taking the elite, and he was like of that world.
Yes.
And he was like breeding them. And
he was breeding Zed.
He bred Zed.
But
that comes later in the film.
Right, but that's what he was doing. I mean, that's what he was, so, and he was doing it because he had the power. But also, he had an end game.
Nobody wanted to take care of these people. So
they needed the grain and the fruit and everything to sustain them.
So Arthur Frayne, he volunteered to take care of these people, and he just developed this world that he envisioned.
Yeah, I mean, so he was manipulating. But he was still kind of he was kind of a douche.
He was of course he was a douche.
I mean, he literally was playing God.
Can I say this? He was modeling it. Well, I don't want to give away the punchline of this film.
The movie did come out, 46 years ago.
So I can?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Okay, so, but maybe
Zardoz.
at this point, it's not.
Well,
Okay,
no, we can.
anyway, he was modeling this on the Wizard of Oz.
The great and
basically.
powerful Oz.
Yeah.
Zardoz.
So, yeah, Zardoz. So he was pulling the strings behind the scenes, and he even said at the beginning that he was the magician.
Yeah.
And he was pulling all the strings, as in Wizard of Oz, as Oz.
Yeah.
And even the name came from Wizard of Oz.
Yes, it did.
So if you cover up the W,
To Zardoz, yeah.
it's Zardoz.
But the man behind the curtain.
He's the man behind the curtain.
He's theatrical in the very beginning with his painted on. He's a player.
Yep.
He's a player on a stage,
Yeah.
and all of these characters are the players on the stage. They're all part of the plan. But what's interesting to me is that Zed becomes the fly in the ointment, and this civilization, the elites, if we say, the rich, the people that don't care, that are
Right.
bored because they have all the money and all the things.
Well, even at some point, the scientist girl, she even says, like, you're smarter and more stronger than any of us here, and she starts getting freaked out.
Well, yeah, because he represents ultimately what you find out is that Arthur Frayne bred him
Yep.
to his job is to kill.
They are so sick of living that this guy was bred to help them
Penetrate
die.
the vortexes and kill to bring an end to their boring lives.
Yes.
And I think that's interesting. I mean,
It's so interesting.
and in this day when there's so much income inequality, one of the things in my life
Yeah.
that I've always been fascinated by is I have never been wealthy myself, as you know, but I've known
Me
people
neither.
that are very wealthy. I've been around a lot of wealth in my life, and what's interesting is that when people can have everything they want, nothing means anything.
They're not satisfied.
Like, they are, but it's like, okay, you've got all this stuff where you can buy this stuff. Like, you can go anywhere.
You have stuff. You have immortality. Like,
Then nothing matters.
nothing matters.
Look, as much as I like money is great. But when I get things like whether I'm getting a model kit, or a action figure, that means something. I'm like, oh my God, this is awesome. Even though it means nothing. Like, in the grand scheme of things, it's a plastic figure, whatever. Even if it's an expensive hot toy figure that costs, it's still, I love it. When I get a book, when Dieter Bastian sends me a disc, when I get a little thing, I mean, I still love my little things.
Right.
But
Could you imagine if you lived forever? What would it all mean
No,
to you?
that was the thing. Nothing means anything.
No.
Imagine, so if you're super wealthy,
Yeah.
you always have known that nothing means anything.
It has
Like,
no
you can't,
meaning.
like just tonight doing a show with you. This means something. This is fun. This is fun,
This
right?
is fun.
These immortals in the vortexes of Zardoz have none of this.
They don't.
They try. They spend all day long dressing up and being there, and nothing works.
But they're always doing the same things over and over and over again. And it has no meaning to them, and they're just so sick of it.
Yeah.
They're sick of it.
They are sick of it.
So they devised this plan to breed this guy who would invade their world and help them, give them freedom to die.
Yeah, because they can't do it themselves.
They can't do it.
They've got the tabernacle. The tabernacle has to be destroyed.
It has to be destroyed, and they can't do it themselves. I find this movie really deep. Like, people think this is a silly film, but it's really not.
Well, I look, the problem here, my biggest problem with film fans, and especially the genre film community, is they never take into account when a film was made. It's like they're like,
Yeah, this
from
is
2020.
very, very 70s.
I mean,
like,
you go, yeah, but, and this is the thing I try and tell everyone. I'm like, you have to watch a movie and take into consideration when it was made.
But even so, this is a very deep film.
No, it is a deep film, but the way it's, I mean, Sean Connery's outfits and the pop
with his
art
package wrapped up in a bow.
But the way, see, you keep bringing that up, and people are like, and
I don't know why people don't like that.
Look, I feel it. I get it from Star Trek fans all the time. Like, oh my God, if you can't make Star Trek the way it looked in the '60s, I'm like, no, people say it all the time.
Look past that. Look at the message of this film.
It requires a certain ability that I don't think a lot of people understand. And especially now.
They get caught up with these little stupid details.
Well, yeah, they can't look. If you grow up, the pacing is different,
man.
the music is different, everything is different.
He's like half naked, mostly naked, with his package.
Look, man, half the ads on my YouTube channel are for the manscaping thing. How do you take that seriously?
Manscaping?
Yeah, man. There's this manscaping thing.
Like what, a razor?
Yeah, it's a razor and manscape. You know I manscape, so you know that. But I mean, my YouTube channel on the Burnettwork.
Well, they must know that you.
No. This is a new thing. But, people look at Sean Connery and hey, he's so hairy.
Yeah.
Well, they can't deal. It's,
He's not that hairy. Come on. He doesn't have hair on his back. He has hair on his chest.
Well. Anyway, so what ends up happening, Elizabeth? What happens in Zardoz?
Okay, so where were we?
So ultimately, there's power struggles and there's all kinds of machinations and everyone. What ends up happening is that Sean Connery allows the other brutals into the vortex. Lets them
right.
And
well, first of all, no. Before that happens. He figures out what the tabernacle is, which is this crystal, which these crystals had been implanted in all their heads. And all of these people were elite, rich people to begin with from the beginning.
Right.
And they figured out how to, harness this crystal and have
this AI
and have this immortality, and all-knowing immortality. And,
I mean, basically,
the initial scientists,
it's nanotech. Now it would be nano. They didn't know that because they didn't have nanotech back then. But it's like
the initial scientists who developed this, like they couldn't handle it because they were already older. So they become like these renegades that are like shunned.
They're shunned in an old folks' home.
They're basically
they would die from COVID-19.
They are in the old folks' home, shunned away, and their offspring are the ones who are like continuing this civilization of immortality and all-knowing, but they're so fucking bored that they just want to die.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're tired of life. It's
and
like
so
enough.
Sean Connery comes and he's
been bred by Arthur Frayne to be this person.
They developed him to be this person to save them.
He's their savior. He's
their
their Messiah.
He really is.
He's going to bring death to all of them.
So he figures out what the tabernacle is, and he enters the tabernacle, and he figures it all out, and he then, because of that, he is able to bring in his other
he destroys the tabernacle.
He destroys it, and now he's able to have his other guys.
Yeah, he opens a vortex, and all of the other brutals come in,
and
the exterminators.
Able to kill these elite people.
But he also impregnated, he did some...
Right. When he was gaining all knowledge, they asked him to impregnate them.
Yeah. So he became he impregnated,
but the other people wanted death. So these
the pregnant women leave on their own.
They leave, and he leaves with
Charlotte Rampling. He leaves with Consuelo, who hated him at first.
Right. They fall in love. It's true love. They leave together, but all the rest are murdered, but they want to die.
They all want to die.
They all want to die because they are so fucking bored out of their mind.
And there's this massacre when there's
a massacre.
And so
then it ends with...
I love the ending of this movie.
Yeah.
I love the ending of this movie. The movie they go in. They actually the end of this movie that Consuela and Sean Connery, after everyone's being massacred, they find the wrecked Zardoz head.
They
go into the mouth.
Head. It becomes their home.
It becomes their home, and there's this long sequence. It's like a single shot, but
it's just like this progression of
time.
time.
It's time lapse when they're sitting there and they have their baby.
They have their baby, and
baby
he grows up,
and
he grows up,
and then he leaves.
And he leaves, and then they just get older and older, and then finally they're skeletons holding hands.
So would you say? So yeah, but okay. So what do you think the end of the movie means?
It means that they found fulfillment. They're able to die.
True love. They found true love, which they didn't have before.
They procreated, and they found true love, and then they got older, and they died together.
But their son left.
Their son left.
Do you think
go on and propagate and?
So is this movie hopeful?
It is.
I think so too.
It totally is.
I think so too.
And it's really a deep movie. You really need to get past the cheesiness and really think about what this film is about.
Well, okay, I'm a huge fan as a child of the 70s growing up. Most of 70s science fiction before Star Wars.
I love 70s science fiction.
There's amazing dystopian science fiction. There, Rollerball.
Yes.
The Ultimate Warrior, No Blade of Grass, The Final Program. What's that?
Devil's Seed.
Demon Seed. Demon Seed, yeah, 76.
That film.
Logan's Run, obviously. This movie. There's all of this dystopian science fiction. The Omega Man, the latter half of the Planet of the Apes franchise.
Yep.
There was Clockwork Orange. There's all of this amazing dystopian science fiction about the destruction or the horror of where we're going to go in the future.
Yeah.
And then Star Wars came out in 77 and just put it all
changed everything.
Changed everything. Guillotine.
Yeah.
I worry that Tululu, last time she was barking like this, maybe tell Sophie. She peed on our bed.
She did.
We don't want to. But I 70s dystopian science fiction I love. I love it. And Soylent Green, another movie, where there was this idea that in the future, the idea of income inequality. There's a lot of what was detailed in these movies that we're dealing with it today now, and yet no one's making these movies. But people look at back then and they get caught up in the production design or whatever. But I think this movie is a really profound film.
It is. It's profound.
And it was a precursor, what John Borman did with Exorcist 2, The Heretic, and what he did with Excalibur. It was all of this was, it's very interesting.
It is. This is a pretty deep film. And I think people just write it off because there's some cheesy points to it, but
it's a little goofy.
It's a little goofy, but But
it's goofy for the people that when I would get angry with people that watch movies going, "Oh my God, look at her clothes" or whatever. I mean, it's superficially goofy.
It is.
It's a stylistically goofy movie, but as a film, it's not goofy.
It's not.
Technique-wise, it might be a little goofy. I mean, you never know. So, what did you think of this film?
I love Zardoz.
Did Zardoz speak to you?
It speaks to me.
Is the gun good or the penis evil?
The gun is bad and the penis is good.
Penis is good. All right. That's good to know.
And boobs are good too.
Boobs are good too. Well, there are people that are writing in to us, and I can only imagine what it is they're saying right now. Hang on. Let me go back. Let's see what people are saying. What are you guys saying? Hang on. A spectator tips $15 and says, "Rob, stop hogging all the wine. I'm watching you." I am not hogging all the wine. I am.
He's pretty good at
Come on, man.
Because I'm on him about being fair. We get
look even now.
We get the same amount.
Yeah,
He's pretty good.
Pretty good.
There are times, though, when we watch movies and I only get one glass.
Oh, wait. Candida. What? Stop that. Candida sends in a tip and says, Elizabeth, Sean Connery is hot in this movie.
Yeah, he totally
especially
is.
his package wrapped in a hot red bikini.
Right?
I've
With
enjoyed.
a bow.
Hang on.
I'm getting excited.
I've enjoyed each Elizabeth, but this double edition has been hilarious. Well, as long as people think so.
Candida agrees with me. The package wrapped with a bow, it's like...
You know what, though? Something tells me Claude's package wrapped in a bow is a pretty great present to get.
Yeah.
Just saying.
We'll leave that to Candida.
Yeah, well, I can't say it. Vortex Claudius sends in a tip and says, copines or copines? Is that French? Copines or copines? I'm not sure which to use. Elizabeth, please help. I already told Rob that I felt immortality in the vortex must be like living in quarantine. I think it would take me a few hundred years before I get apathetic.
Yes.
I think so, too.
I mean...
I would like to live for thousands of years. I would never get bored.
I don't think I would either.
I wouldn't get bored.
No, because we're creative people. And we would always find things to create.
I think so, too. I just want to see what happens.
I was kind of fascinated by Arthur Frayne. I was like, he is able to, like, pull strings and make things happen.
And especially when he's reconstituted and he finds...
Yeah, and it's like, wow, he gets to play God. Like, that'd be fun.
I know.
Even though it's like, you could do really bad things, but you could do really good things, too.
You could. That is true. Lady Throg sends in a tip and says, it's Elizabeth's show. Where are her headphones?
Oh.
Well,
well, I do have JBL headphones.
Why don't you talk about that?
Yeah, so JBL sent me these amazing headphones.
They did. And do you like them?
I love them.
So this is the time we should mention that JBL and Harman International, thank you to Connie from the Experiential Engagement Department, has allowed the Burnettwork to give away an almost $1,000 JBL Bar 9.1, which means it's 10 speakers, 9.1 soundbar that is not even released to the consumers until May 31st. We're giving away a Bar 9.1 with Dolby Atmos on this channel. So if you go into the description of this show, you can find a link. All you have to do is go through and go to Elizabeth's Whining About Movies. Go to the page on the Facebook page.
Yep.
Talk to the Richard. He'll help you. He'll hook you up.
Become a member.
Any part of the Burnettwork or any part of our
subscribe to
whatever.
Robservations.
Doesn't matter. You can go through. You can enter as many times as you want.
Yep.
You can go to that. Just go down and link to it. And you can...
JBL will hook you up.
JBL will hook you up. If you win, we win. We've already won because they already did that for us. But it's a brand new Bar 9.1, which means it's a 10-channel soundbar with satellite speakers. It's pretty impressive, I have to say.
Plus, I think you were saying that people might get a discount, too.
Well, we're working on that. Okay. We don't know about that yet, but we'll see. Lady Throg, the headphones I have on is more of a technical issue to make sure that I can hear that we're broadcasting properly. So,
yeah, like I can hear Rob and I can.
Yeah, like I'm not doing anything.
Plus, it would mess up my hair.
I'm not. We're on this camera
kidding.
now. I'm not doing anything to take. I'm not doing anything to take away from you.
No.
This is more of a technical issue with the show.
Make sure that all the sound is right.
But I got to give it up for Lady Throg for looking out for you.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for looking out for me.
Let's drink to Lady Throg.
Let's drink to that.
And oh, by the way, we might as well kill...
Unfortunately, I have to pee.
Oh, really? Really badly?
Well, I'm good for now.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if you have to pee, I mean, it is a two-hander. So I can still talk to people. I can still answer questions. I mean, here, look. Med6814 sends in a super chat and says, how do you feel about the end of Picard? Maybe this might be a time when you could go pee, and I can answer this question.
Well, is he asking you or is he asking me?
It just says, how do you feel? How do you feel about the end of Picard?
I stopped watching after the 4th episode.
So you can't answer the end.
Because it sucks, basically. I'm sorry. I stop watching when I don't like something. I just don't watch. Because I can't spend the time. My time is valuable. I just don't watch.
Well, if you have to go pee, this would be a time to go.
That's okay. I can hold it.
All right. Garen Gillum, who made a great video, by the way, and I talked about him today. My brother and I watched Zardoz as a kid whenever it was on TV. My dad, who was a Bond Connery fan, would always say it was the weirdest movie he ever saw. I have the Blu-ray coming from Arrow, so excited to finally see the uncut film with boobies. Ha ha ha. Well, Garen Gillum, by the way, Garen, did you see that I talked about you today? Let me just talk about Garen for a minute. Garen Gillum, hang on, let me switch the camera. I know this is indulgent. Indulge. My man Garen Gillum has this book, Dan Simmons' Carrying Comfort. This is the Dark Harvest. I'm going to show it just because.
Go ahead.
I'm going to do it because Garen's here, and I'm going to be like very impressed. He made a video for the 400th episode of Robservations. Garen, I just want to show you. I saw this on your shelf. I only collect autographs from authors. Look at that. Just saying. and I do, as you see, it's wrapped in a bro dart.
It's
because I'm
pristine.
I'm fanatical. Just so you know, Garen.
He won't even let me look at his books. He's like, "You're gonna break the spine."
Don't break the spine. Dieter would understand that. Anyway, I think, Garen, when you see this with boobies and you get the look, Arrow does a great job. Zarthrog sends in a tip and says, Princess Consuela Banana Hammock. Since Elizabeth loves ladies who kick ass in film, show her Haywire with Gina Carano, Doomsday with Rona Mitra, and always the great Malcolm McDowell or Hannah with Saoirse Ronan and Cate Blanchett. I have all three. I
love those actors.
I have all three of those movies on Blu-ray.
What the
just
hell?
so you know.
You haven't shown me? Like, what's that last one, Hannah? I want to see that.
There's a TV series that was based on Hannah.
Yeah, but I want to see the one with Saoirse Ronan and
Saoirse as in inertia
and Cate Blanchett.
We can watch it. I know. We got that.
Cate Blanchett. Like, wow, I love her.
Look at this. Wait a minute. Cardinal Sin sends in a super chat and says, "Great show, double feature, 2 bottles of wine." Cheers to that.
2.
By the way, can we just let's talk about this? All right. Just saying, we're pretty even. Even Steven.
We are.
Yeah, pretty even Steven. So, it's bullshit. Throg tips $1 and says, "Dude, you're bogarting the wine." I am not bogarting the wine. I am not bogarting the wine.
Are you?
No way.
I don't think he is.
No, come on, man.
Because I've given him shit about it.
Yeah, well, that's correct.
No, you've been fair. You've been fair with the wine.
I absolutely try and be fair.
Yes, totally.
So let me ask you, what do you think of Zardoz?
I love Zardoz. This is the second time I've seen it.
Right.
I think it's got a good premise and a good message. I think it's really pretty deep. Like, people need to get past the cheesiness and really think about what this film is about. Yeah, I think Zardoz is a pretty good film.
Hang on a second. Wait, hang on. Claudius says we missed Candida's super chat, and I would say no, we didn't. Elizabeth Sean Connery's hot in this movie, especially his package. We talked about that.
His package, right? Wrapped in a bow.
Uh-oh, wait. We did.
Was there a second one?
Yeah, Candida says, "Oh, Elizabeth, to me, from another female perspective, The Long Kiss Goodnight was like Die Hard. Entertaining, but neither film seems realistic to me. I remember Craig Bierko, the handsome villain, as the jazz man in Sex and the City."
There you go. Candida and I are on the same page. We park our shuttles in the same shuttle bay.
Wow, I'm very impressed.
Damn.
Wow, I'm sorry I missed that. And by the way, did I miss... oh, wait. Well, no, wait. She said I missed someone else. Spectators. Did I miss spectators chat? Hang on. Rob, stop hogging the wine. I'm watching you. He said that. A spectator. I'm not hogging the wine. I always pour the wine for you first, too, by the way. Come on. Of course, we can always go to the tape. You know, what are you going to do?
Don't worry. He's being fair at this point because you guys are all watching him.
They are watching me. So, continue on with your analysis of Zardoz. I like that.
Yeah. I like Zardoz a lot. This is the second time I've seen it. I really still love it. I think it's a deep film. I think people need to get past the cheesiness and enjoy Sean Connery's package and the boobies, and it's all good.
Well, I think as John Borman's career, I think what's interesting about Borman, I think the culmination. Look, he made Deliverance. He made Point Blank. I mean, he's a very important director, and he directed long into his career. But I think that I call it his mythological period. I think that he made. I mean, after he made Deliverance. Which, you better pray good.
Oh my God, squeal like
pig.
Yeah.
So
that film was, whew.
Yeah.
We should do that film.
Well, okay, if you want to do that film, you want to do Dueling Banjos? Okay, that's not a bad movie to do.
That film blew my mind.
But Borman went from Zardoz to Exorcist to The Heretic to Excalibur.
Which I liked, by the way.
Ba, 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 ba. No. That's a little Ennio Morricone. I mean, that was, Anyway, that was sorry.
It's okay. I love when you sing to me, babe.
The Exorcist 2, The Heretic, was the first R-rated movie I ever saw in a theater, and I was really disappointed.
Oh.
Really shattered. I mean, and when the Golden Turkey Awards book came out in the early 80s or something, I was like, oh my God, that movie it was like the worst movie ever made. And I felt that way. I don't think it's the worst movie ever made. I think as an Exorcist sequel, it's terrible. But as a John Borman movie following up, I think it's interesting. Anyway. Wait. T. Kane sends in a super chat and says, cheers, Robert and Liz. Just finished the Blood of Judas wine. Good wine. What did you think of La Femme Nikita series with Peter Wilson?
Oh.
Did you watch that show?
What did I watch the show?
Peter Wilson, it was a show based on the movie.
Oh, I loved the movie.
The
French movie.
Yeah. Well, it's called Nikita in French, but in America it's called La Femme Nikita. There was a show based on that with Peter Wilson. I liked it. I did watch episodes of it.
I didn't watch the show.
I watched it.
Did you watch that without me?
No, it was decades before I met you.
Oh, okay.
It was like in the 90s, babe.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. La Femme Nikita is what, 94?
Oh, okay.
And then the Peter Wilson series, which, by the way, can I just talk about the fact that I met Peter Wilson on the set of Superman Returns. She plays a NASA. She's on the plane that Superman rescues at the beginning. She was rad. I loved her. She was awesome. Very cool. But I like the show. But again, it's like, La Femme Nikita was a great movie, but then stringing it out, it was good. It was good. I didn't mind it. The Cock Stops Here Throg sends in a tip and says, have you shown Elizabeth Batman's penis? Batman's
penis?
Damned. Hang on. Cardinal Sin sends in a super chat and says...
Wait, I want to hear about Batman's penis.
I don't know. It's Batman... That's all he says.
Wait, I can see Batman's penis?
I don't know.
Where's Batman's penis?
I don't know. I've got lots of Batman up there. I don't know.
There's no penis.
Yeah, I know.
I want to see Batman's penis.
I don't have any anatomically correct dolls.
What is he talking about?
I don't know, but he asks. So, Cardinal Sin sends in a super chat and says, cheers, Elizabeth and Laser Bob. Do you know what they did? Do you know what they did? Okay. By the way, I hope you saw today's Robservations because I read your letter. It was great. Cardinal Sin says, do you know what they did to Laser Bob? It was you, me, and Laser Bob. This is an Escape from New York reference that keeps going on.
I saw Escape from New York. I loved that film.
I know, but this is... You, me, and Fresno Bob. You know what they did to Bob? He's telling this to Brain, to Harry Dean Stanton's character. It says, can you squeal, Throg? Sends in a tip and says, don't envy
Squeal
Ned
like
Beatty.
a pig. Squeal
Come
like
on.
a pig, babe.
Don't be so happy about that.
That film blew my mind.
Okay, well, you know.
It, like, disturbed me. It did.
Garen Gillum has not watched it. I have not watched yet, but I will, Rob.
You have to watch Zardoz.
I also use bro darts. We park our shuttlecraft in the same anal retentive shuttle bay. Speaking of, I can't find a bro dart that fits omnibuses. Have you? Yes, I have. And I'm looking around. Let me find one. I have, and I don't. There are bro darts that fit as a matter of fact. Oh, well. But not lately. No. There's. Yes, because, look, every book that has a dust cover needs a bro dart. And I go on these Jags, and I'll buy like
What's
200.
A bro dart?
A bro dart is this. See this?
Oh, the plastic covering.
Yeah.
Like a library book.
Yeah, like a that's a.
It's a library book
this
covering.
is a bro dart. Yeah, and when you have.
Yeah, that's a library book covering.
Well, yes, but when you collect like beautiful hardcovers that are autographed, you want to have an inert.
Oh.
Something inert like this
Did you
plastic.
put that on there?
Yes.
You did that?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, because as Garen Gillum said, we park our shuttlecraft in the same anal retentive shuttle bay.
Yeah, that's pretty anal retentive.
You know what? But when I die, you could sell that book for a great deal of money.
Great.
Terrific. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
Is that it?
Well, is that it? I mean, we first of all we have the whole we've talked about Zardoz.
Did we drink that whole bottle?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, okay, we did it. So the question is, please explain the bottoms up scale for Elizabeth's whining about movies.
Okay, so the scale goes from 1 to 4 because there are 4 glasses of wine in a bottle.
And on a scale of 1 to 4 glasses of wine, what would you give Zardoz?
I love Zardoz.
Well, okay.
I loved it the first time I saw it.
I know you did. You did love it.
And I love it the second
That was back
time.
in Los Feliz. I showed it to you in Los Feliz.
That was at the very beginning of our relationship. You showed me Zardoz, and I loved it then. Sean Connery's package wrapped in a bow.
By the way, Joe Weiss? Yes. So Joe Weiss, who makes these stickers, I just want to like to show. So Joe Weiss is an imagination connoisseur, makes these stickers. I would just like to point out that he made a body melt sticker.
Body melt.
Just for you. For you. Our fans make stuff just for you. There's a body melt right there. A body melt sticker.
A body melt.
Well, just saying. Look at that.
That's...
So I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just want to point out that our viewers care.
They
So
care.
you saw Zardoz, I showed it to you, so continue on.
Okay, so Zardoz... Zardoz gets a... It gets a 3.75.
Wow, 3.75.
I love Zardoz.
Wow, that's why I love you. I love you. Come on, babe. I love you because you love Zardoz.
I love Zardoz.
That's why we're doing this show together.
Where is Zardoz? God damn it.
I don't know. Even I can't give it 3.7.
That pisses me off.
I know. We'll find it. Don't show up George Lazenby. Come on. That is not fair. I'm trying to fix George Lazenby.
Leg.
Don't even do this. Come on,
we
man.
can't find Zardoz.
Because Zardoz speaks to you.
I love Zardoz.
Okay, I understand. I can't go that high.
Okay.
My bottoms up scale of Zardoz is 3 out of 4 glasses of wine.
3! Damn.
3.
I love Zardoz.
I
won't apologize. I love Zardoz.
Zardoz speaks to you.
It speaks to me.
Hang on. Bat Penis Throg sends in a tip and says, in a recalled issue of Batman Damned 1, we see Master Bruce's Shalamalama Ding Dong. See you in the video later tonight.
Oh, what does that mean?
I don't know.
I think that sounds...
Hey, look, Dave Parker is in this chat.
Dave! Cheers!
You know what I should play? I should play Dave Parker. Dave Parker, the director of The Hills Run Red, who's a very talented man, made a commercial for our movie. You know what? I'm just drunk enough that I should play it, but I can't.
Why?
I can't.
You don't have it queued up.
No, I could queue it up in seconds. I can't do it.
So what's the problem?
It has not been approved.
Oh.
Not been approved. For those of you who don't know,
bummer.
Dave Parker directed a film that was written by, hang on, talk about movies. Look at this. David J. Scow, who wrote, this is one of the most amazing, talk about a book with bro darts, Silver Scream, edited by David J. Scow, another Dark Harvest book. This book is amazing. Dave Scow, who wrote the first movie I ever worked on, the Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, we got him to work. Please don't do that. We got to, I know.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to find Zardoz.
I know. I don't know.
I'm heartbroken.
I know.
Just keep talking. I'm just doing my thing here.
Wait. Dave Parker says one time quick leak. Would you guys, hang on. Let's ask. Hang on. Would you, wait,
I have to find Zardoz. I'm sorry.
Would you guys like to see a TV? Well, oh, there's Zardoz. Look, okay, I'll give it to you.
I found him.
Should you? I'll let you do it. You got to do Zardoz's voice. Zardoz speaks. No. You got to. Oh, I know it's hard. That's Zardoz, the floating head. While you do that, you do
the voice better than I do.
Well, you should do the voice.
No, come on, do the voice.
Zardoz, the gun is good. The penis is evil. Zardoz speaks to you. So I think what's really interesting and what we could do right now, because it would kind of be cool, because who's going to know? Right? So, what if, like, as a special treat,
I'm gonna wear
right now on Robservations on our Viewers' Choice Awards. So, as you all know, maybe, or you don't, I produced a horror film that I developed with director Dave Parker, a friend of mine, one of my dearest friends in the world. We've worked together since 1993. He actually taught me a lot about cutting even movie trailers. So, in 2008, Dave and I were able to make a movie called The Hills Run Red. Now, it never came out. It got no love from Warner Brothers, but Scream Factory, which is the Tiffany of horror film companies, is releasing it on Blu-ray. And Dave and I have spent our quarantine, our sheltering at home, creating over 6.5 hours of special features for The Hills Run Red. And since Dave Parker said something, Dave made a commercial for The Hills Run Red. I mean, who does that for their Blu-ray release?
You have a super chat.
I know. Well, Cardinal Sin says you should play it, Bobby. So I'm going to tell you, this is a world premiere. This is a world premiere, and I probably really shouldn't play this, to be honest. All right. Here is the commercial that Dave Parker, the director of The Hills Run Red, has made for our upcoming Blu-ray release of The Hills Run Red. Here's a movie that I produced, Dave Parker directed, and by the way, Dave Parker also designed everything about our psycho killer babyface. Fuck it. You know what? Here you go.
Play it.
For the first time on Blu-ray, discover the film that Fangoria magazine called dark, clever, and nasty as hell.
Everybody is expendable for the good of the film.
Bill Sadler fucking rules.
Everybody.
And Dread Central said was disturbing, merciless horror, the way it should be.
I mean, that's real blood you're looking at there.
The Hills Run Red. Loaded with 6.5 hours of never-before-seen bonus features, destined to make you lose your mind. Including 3 commentary tracks, 10 featurettes from the set with interviews from the cast and crew.
When I read it, it kind of made me feel a bit sick, so you know it's gonna go down well with the horror fans.
Right now I'm tied to a wheelchair, and it's Friday night, which is an average Friday night for me.
Our little lurid, nasty, rude, rock and roll, bloody, disgusting horror film. There's no way it's going to be a Dark Castle movie.
3 retrospective featurettes.
You can't write a movie like The Hills Run Red without having, by being completely ignorant of what the genre's like. And there's a huge slasher element in it.
When I got the original script, I was surprised. I was shocked.
When you see something that shocks you this much right off the bat, your creative wheels are immediately starting to spin.
Proof of concept animatic and trailer. The original making of documentary. The original trailer and reversible cover art. Available June 16th, 2020. Only from Scream Factory.
Uh-oh. Should I have played that?
Oops.
I don't know. I mean, how many YouTube shows can you watch where somebody who's doing it actually produced movies? I mean, you know.
That was one of your movies.
You know, I slipped.
Oops.
I slipped. I pressed a button I shouldn't have, and it played.
It played.
Played.
There it goes.
I have to say that commercial was done by director Dave Parker, and I, as a producer of the film, wholeheartedly approve of that. And by the way, how great was that, by the way?
That was pretty cool.
It's fucking dope.
Yeah.
You know, and I honestly, it's too bad I can't release it on my YouTube channel. Yeah.
That would be cool, but
I know.
Can't happen.
It's a leak. Well, the people that watch Eliz Views Whining About Movies just saw...
You got a special little insight into...
And all credit in the world goes to director Dave Parker for doing that. And what has been fun is he and I were sort of like a tag team doing these special features for... Even if you don't like the movie, which you should, because it's... I mean, for a movie that was... It has a great story. But I will say this. I will put our little Blu-ray, the Scream Factory Blu-ray that comes up on June 16th. You can buy it. If you want to know how a film is made, between the special features that Dave produced and the special features that I produced and our cross-pollination, you will get one of the greatest feels of how an independent horror film is produced. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway... well, Cardinal Sin, Dave said you should just play it, Bobby. We did play it. You know what's really cool? We can play it again. Like, for real. Like, check it out. Watch. It'll just play again.
For the first time on Blu-ray, discover the film that Fangoria magazine called dark, clever, and nasty as hell.
Everybody is expendable for the good of the film. Everybody.
And Dread Central said was disturbing, merciless horror, the way it should be.
I mean, that's real blood you're looking at there.
The Hills Run Red. Loaded with 6.5 hours of never-before-seen bonus features, destined to make you lose your mind. Including 3 commentary tracks, 10 featurettes from the set with interviews from the cast and crew.
When I read it, it kind of made me feel a bit sick, so you know it's gonna go down well with the horror fans.
Right now I'm tied to a wheelchair, and it's Friday night, which is an average Friday night for me.
Our little lurid, nasty, rude, rock and roll, bloody, disgusting horror film. There's no way it's going to be a Dark Castle movie.
3 retrospective featurettes.
You can't write a movie like The Hills Run Red without having, by being completely ignorant of what the genre's like. And there's a huge slasher element in it.
When I got the original script, I was surprised. I I was shocked.
When you see something that shocks you this much right off the bat, your creative wheels are immediately starting to spin.
Proof of concept animatic and trailer. The original making of documentary. The original trailer and reversible cover art. Available June 16th, 2020. Only from Scream Factory.
Now I want all of you to go to Amazon and pre-order that stuff. Not to be self-serving, but give it up for Dave Scow, Dave Parker, Eric Olson, Freddie Wiedman, and, well, myself, and the entire cast and crew of The Hills Run Red. It's pretty cool, you know? So, Elizabeth's
cool.
whining about movies. I mean, maybe I'll show the Tango Shalom trailer when it's done.
Ooh.
I know.
That would be awesome. I love that film.
I know you do.
Love, love.
Yes, you do. You do love
Yes.
Tango Shalom. It's true. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we already talked about how many glasses we give. Zardoz speaks to you. The gun is good. The penis is evil. Anyway, I think we're gonna bring an end to our Viewers' Choice Extravaganza.
Yes.
Our 2-bottler.
Thank you for voting. This was awesome. 2 weeks. Like, we had so much fun.
We had so much fun.
So much
And
fun.
let's give it up to the Richard.
Yes.
The
Richard, you were amazing. Thank you for taking that poll. I know it was really, really hard to bridge all the social media, but you did an amazing job. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and the Richard, if you want to find the Richard, he has great artwork. You can find him both on the Elizabeth's Whining About Movies, find the Whining About Movies page on Facebook, or the Post-Geek Singularity page on Facebook. He's actually in the chat right now. Oh, he says drink. The Richard says drink.
Well, I think I'm all out of drink.
Oh, well, okay.
I think I have a drop.
Well, I also want to thank my moderators. They are great. Let's give it up for Mike Bawden. Let's give it up for Detective Jim Boyers. And by the way, his wife Heidi was in a car accident and a car altercation. She's okay. Let's hear it for Heidi. And let's give it up for Greg Smith, my old friend Greg Smith. His first daughter has graduated from high school.
Congratulations.
And congratulations. And even though she didn't get to celebrate graduation or have a prom, apparently she's graduated. So that's great. Let's give it up for Louis Yu, who is also here, and Jordy Lyons.
He's here every time.
And Louis is a great man. He's also been sick recently, and he's better now. So here's to you, Louis. And remember, next year for the Rose Parade, park at our house. We'll all walk up.
Yes, we're 2 blocks away from the Rose Parade.
More than that. Oh, but not from where the
we're
floats
2
are
blocks
parked.
away. Oh, from where
no,
they're parked?
Because he went and saw the park. Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
but the parade goes 2 blocks away from us.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go back. We don't know what the next Elizabeth's movie is going to be, Whining About Movies.
We don't.
We don't know yet, but it will be Monday night. We're going to get back to our Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule.
Yep.
We want to thank you for joining us for this doubleheader.
Yes.
And by the way, don't tell anyone Zardoz speaks to you. Don't tell anybody we played the commercial for the Hills Run Red Blu-ray. Please tell no one we did that. It was a mistake. I shouldn't have done it. I feel terrible. I feel terrible that Dave Parker made a commercial for a Blu-ray. By the way, who's ever done that in the history of movies? I don't know, but who's ever also mistakenly hit the button that, I can't believe it. I don't know. Can you believe this, Elizabeth? Uh-oh.
You're playing it again?
Because why not? Well, maybe somebody... Oh, wait, hang on.
Discover the film that Fangoria magazine called Dark, Clever, and Nasty as Hell.
Everybody is expendable for the good of the film. Everybody.
And Dread Central said was disturbing, merciless horror, the way it should be.
I mean, that's real blood you're looking at there.
The Hills Run Red. Loaded with 6.5 hours of never-before-seen bonus features, destined to make you lose your mind. Including 3 commentary tracks, 10 featurettes from the set with interviews from the cast and crew.
When I read it, it kind of made me feel a bit sick, so you know it's gonna get down well with the horror fans.
Right now I'm tied to a wheelchair, and it's Friday night, which is an average Friday night for me.
Our little lurid, nasty, rude, rock and roll, bloody, disgusting horror film. There's no way it's going to be a Dark Castle movie.
3 retrospective featurettes.
You can't write a movie like The Hills Run Red without having, by being completely ignorant of what the genre's like. And there's a huge slasher element in it.
When I got the original script, I was surprised. I was shocked.
When you see something that shocks you this much right off the bat, your creative wheels are immediately starting to spin.
Proof of concept animatic and trailer. The original making of documentary. The original trailer and reversible cover art. Available June 16th, 2020.
Oh my God, I slipped.
3 times?
Well, you know, usually when girls say to me 3 times, it's a good thing.
Yeah, but 3 times?
3 times, lady, 'cause I love you. Come on, man. I'm pretty excited about this movie that's coming out.
It's pretty cool, but 3 times on Eliza Views?
Wow, just so you know, I mean, when girls say 3 times and think it's a bad thing, I'm like...
Oh, well, that's different than playing this 3 times.
It's pretty great, though, isn't it?
It's pretty great, but like 3 times.
3 times, lady. Anyway.
You just got another super chat.
Uh-oh, Cardinal Sin. What? Did I? Wait, hang on. I got... Dave just said you should play it, Bobby. Oh, I got that. Throg pre-ordered. Do we get refunds from you, Rob and Dave, if the film isn't satisfactory? I don't want to take from your wine fund. Throg, look.
Oh.
Whether you like the film or not,
I haven't seen it, by the way.
I know, it's amazing. I just want to say, whether you like the film or not, it doesn't matter. The Blu-ray, the movie's 81 minutes long. The Blu-ray has 6.5 hours of special features. Now, here's the thing. It's...
Wow.
No, not wow. It's a film school on a disc. It's... No, don't laugh. I mean, it's pretty amazing. What Dave did, I mean, he went and did retrospective. He got great people. You can see it's beautifully photographed. I went back and I oversaw, not only is my original documentary on it, but there was footage. I had 24 hours of footage that had never been touched. You can see it on the disc. It's really a great package. So, I think you're gonna dig it. By the way, Cardinal Sin sends in a super chat and says, "A young, good-looking R&B." I wasn't that young, bruh.
Yeah, he's super hot.
Oh, thanks, babe.
Super hot,
Appreciate it. I appreciate that. Still good looking. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I mean.
Ooh. Wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to bring an end to this 2.5-hour version of Elizabeth's whining about movies. Do you have anything else to say to the fans before we sign off? What do you think?
These were 2 great films to finish on. Thank you guys, for voting.
It was viewer's choice.
Thank you for the Richard for making this happen.
Yep.
And this was so fun.
It was so fun, wasn't it?
So fun.
So fun.
Thank you for nominating movies and voting for movies. It was super fun.
It was really fun. Like, I have to say, you guys, aside from the long kiss goodnight, I was very impressed by what everybody came up with. Oh, by the way,
I got to see some pretty cool films.
I mean, the Night of the Hunter,
Yeah.
Brazil.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some really good stuff.
Flesh and Blood,
Flesh
which
and Blood.
I've wanted to see since I was 14
It was pretty
years
good.
old.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
By the way, Finding Neo sends in a super chat and says, "Love this format. You two are charming."
Thank you. Oh.
We're so charming.
Oh.
All right. Well, thank you for that.
Thank you.
We're gonna get off. We're gonna get off this chat right now.
Yeah, because I have to pee.
Yeah, and the dogs, I'm sure, have peed on the bed. Hopefully they didn't. But Gilbert and Tallulah have not been a part of the show.
Hopefully Sophie took care of it.
Hope so. Well, ladies and gentlemen, gentle beings, kind souls from across the 28 known galaxies. What do we say at the end of the show, Elizabeth?
Everybody you meet.
Every person you meet,
Every
yes.
person you meet has a story to tell
That's
that you
correct.
haven't heard yet.
Yes. You look at the camera.
All you have to do is listen.
Oh, you got that right. That's true, ladies and gentlemen. And what do we say?
Have a better night.
Have a better night. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be back on Robservations tomorrow, and we will be back. Oh, hang on. Cardinal Sin says, next, The Seven Faces of Dr. Lau. I don't own that movie. I have to find it. My God.
We could probably stream it.
We could probably find it. I have to
That
say,
would be
Voodoo
fun.
has a pretty impressive collection.
So many times that film has come up.
I know. Well,
I think we have to do it.
Yes.
I think we have to do it.
It's true. Okay, Tony Randall's our man. We'll have to look it up. Everyone, as we all say, I will see you tomorrow at 1 at Robservations.
Yes.
And then, the rest of the week. Everyone, have a better night.
Have a better night.